No, y'all, that's not my real voice. Cigar Hound Dog, DJ from Pick Jimi, Master Your Ash, John from Cigar Alchemist, EKB from the Vintage Cigar.
What you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?
Thanks for tuning into the big broadcast, the bad broadcast. And now, the New Wave presents the infamous Smoke Show.
And we're live.
Hey.
Hey.
Move.
Welcome to everybody in the chat, and welcome to our guest. Got a
James Brown. Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
I'll be smoking the Bishop's blend. This is the one for this year.
Hey.
This thing it's
Nice.
it's small. It's small, but it looks like it might have a kick to it. By the wrapper and the smaller ring gauge. Might have a bite, I'm thinking.
Have you not smoked that before?
Not this year's. Not this year's.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I mean, also, we have Connecticut broadleaf, Pennsylvania broadleaf in the filler component, so it's definitely a stout smoke.
I like that you use PA broadleaf. Not, you don't see that often enough. I'm sure DJ likes that as well.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, James, I'm gonna need your help, man. Which one of these is gonna kick my ass less? Because it's like 100 degrees out here.
You know what? Honestly, like both of those are going to be very kind of full flavor, medium strength. So I would say that the Salvation is going to have a little bit more of a spice component to it, whereas the Lawless is going to have kind of more like dark fruit, a little bit of sweetness on the finish. So it does have a little bit of spice, but probably if I had to pick between the two, I would say the Lawless is going to be a little milder.
Okay. I'm gonna go Lawless then, man. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
You guys do that dark fruit
Nice.
note super well, by the way. So I haven't had this one yet,
Thank you.
but if it's anything like that, like I'm pumped.
The Orthodox had a lot of that. That was bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ?
That's what I'm smoking tonight. Smoking the Orthodox.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Let's go.
Well, I am all out of Bishop's. Well, I have one left. One Bishop's blend left. That's going to go for a review because that cigar deserves a review. But I am going to start with a porcelain from last year.
Porcelain, nice.
Very nice. Kind
James,
of the
what
other
are you
end of
smoking
the
on?
spectrum.
Yeah.
I'm actually smoking the Coffin Nails, which was our new release. Press release just came out, just started hitting retailers. I'm super stoked about this cigar. A very big, bold cigar in a small package. I'm really excited that this is finally getting out to consumers.
Yeah, I think I saw King of the Leaf posting about that just today.
I like how you guys the core of your brand from my perception of is like you guys make pretty, beefy, strong cigars, but your Vitolas are never that outrageous. Like they're always in a smaller, more concise package. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, we try to be really conscientious of what I feel like the blend smokes best in. So we never really make a really large amount of Vitolas for any.
There's no
cigars that we do.
660s. Yeah.
There is actually. So yeah, all of our core line products do come in a 660. So
Okay.
yeah, but I mean, for the most part, when it comes to limited releases, things like the Bishop, Morphine, when you look at the entire Blackwork Studio line, they're all kind of sizes that tend to be geared towards more kind of cigar nerds, cigar enthusiasts. Smaller ring gauges, interesting Vitolas like Petite Coronas, Corona Largas, Corona Gordas. I mean, for me, not only do I feel like the blends show better in those sizes, but I feel like it's cool to kind of introduce people to something other than a Toro and a Robusto, try to get them to try something new and something different.
I see you guys do a lot of Corona Gordas or Corona Gorda-esque sizes, which I appreciate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Your biggest seller is a petite Corona, isn't it? Is it the Killer Bee?
Yeah. So I mean, that to me has always been kind of like a badge of pride that I can say that we're probably the only cigar brand on the market whose number one selling SKU is a petite Corona.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, like I said, it's cool to get people excited about sizes that they wouldn't normally smoke all the time. Even the coffin nail. I mean, this is a small little, 5x40 Bellicoso, and yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I like to see people's reactions and for them to get excited about stuff that they haven't smoked.
Okay. And how did you get into cigars initially, and how did you get into the industry? Like, what's your origin story like with cigars?
I think it's definitely a little bit different than most. I would say, with cigars, I just kind of love tobacco. I always have. I grew up, my dad was a pipe smoker, so I always loved that smell in the house, and
Yep.
Yeah. And then, as a teenager, I kind of started as a cigarette smoker and smoked until my early 20s. And I decided at that point that I was going to go into the wine industry. I became a sommelier, and
Nice.
I had to quit. I had to quit smoking cigarettes for my palate and all of that.
Can't taste
And
anything.
so, so after that, I kind of started experimenting with cigars. I did experiment with pipes as well, but pipes just wasn't really my thing. Like, I didn't really have the patience for it.
Too much effort. You got to put too much effort into pipes.
It's a lot of work, So,
Yeah.
So I kind of dabbled in cigars and didn't know a lot about it. And then I actually took a job as a sommelier at a restaurant in Arizona called Anthony's in the Catalinas. And the owner of the restaurant also owned a chain of cigar stores, of Anthony's cigar stores in Tucson. And so he kind of opened my eyes at that point to what kind of cigars could be, and had me trying a lot of different stuff, and really intrigued me. And I kind of got into it. Fast forward many years later, I had always been a casual cigar smoker. But my wife and I, when we got married, we left the U.S. like 21 years ago and lived in a lot of different places, did a lot of different things. And so I always smoked cigars when I had access to them. But it wasn't like something like living in the States where I had like a core group of cigar friends or a retail shop that I frequented, so it was kind of a very on and off thing for me until we started a travel company that was based in Guatemala that did trips all throughout Central America. And at that time, I was able to spend a lot of time in Nicaragua, and I really wanted to be in Esteli and learn as much as I could about tobacco and cigar making. And so kind of fast forward, during my free time, I was spending in Esteli learning as much as I could about tobacco and cigar blending. And I really wanted to learn the entire process of it. And so I started to kind of play around with blending cigars for our travel company, because a lot of our customer base were into cigars, and, they would smoke them on the trip, and they kind of really fell in love with what I was doing and wanted to know, how can I get these, when the trip's over. And so that kind of sparked an idea that, maybe there is something to this. And so Black Label kind of just grew out of that. And, the reason that I was very focused on that was I felt like when I would go to the States, or when I had access to Nicaraguan cigars that I would smoke, there was a really big disconnect between what I was buying and smoking versus the tobacco that I was smoking in Nicaragua. And I felt like the cigars I was buying, they didn't have kind of this bold intensity, kind of gritty, rough around the edges, quality that was what I was loving about the Nicaraguan tobacco in Nicaragua. So that kind of is what the idea and the concept of Black Label was to kind of bring that element of Nicaraguan tobacco, to a cigar brand and to, people in the U.S. So at that time, that's why I think my story is very different is, most people come from either being in the U.S., working in the industry somehow, and they kind of transition into, you know, starting a brand. Whereas, you know, I didn't know anyone involved in cigars in the United States. So I didn't know a retailer. I didn't know a sales rep. I didn't have any base of consumer friends that smoke cigars. So I came at it kind of from the opposite direction, from the manufacturing side, from the Nicaraguan side. And so, yeah, it was just kind of a thing that I started very small, wanted it to be kind of a side project to the travel business we were doing. And, you know, like I said, it was very small, started very organically. And, you know, after doing cigars for the travel company for several years, kind of developed Black Label and kind of went on from there.
So, and is Oveja Negra, was that started at the very beginning, or is that your own factory that you started up like after having, you know, been doing cigars for a little bit?
Yeah, so we started in kind of like actual production cigars in like late 2012 for an early 2013 launch. At that time, we were working with another factory who we had kind of met, you know, through spending time in Nicaragua. And we kind of had it set up in a way that, you know, it was kind of supposed to be, you know, we're buying the tobacco for our products. We want it rolled this way. We want it treated this way. And it started out okay, you know, for the first kind of production run. That's how things were. But, you know, towards the end of 2013, we realized that things were not going the way they were supposed to, and that there was a lot of issues with the products. And then in 2014, we literally received a batch of cigars that we could do nothing with. You know, I mean, these cigars literally came straight off the rolling table into cellophane and shipped to us. And at that point, we were kind of like, okay, you know, here we are with however many dollars worth of product that we can't do anything with. You know, we're either done or we just need to be all in, you know. And from a financial standpoint, from an experience standpoint, I wouldn't say we were ready at that time to go in all in on a factory, but it was what needed to happen. And that's what we decided to do. So, you know, my wife and I were living in Guatemala at that time and going back and forth to SLE. And so we moved to Nicaragua full time and went all in on the factory. And, you know, Oveja Negra started in 2015. And, you know, we knew that if we wanted to create the brand the way we wanted to, if we wanted to create the cigars in the style we wanted to, if we wanted that artistic and creative freedom, that we really had to own every step of the process. You know, it had to be 100% us. And, you know, at the end of the day, for me, if I'm putting my name on something, I need to be the one doing it, you know? So
you got to make sure you can control, you know, quality assurance.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, so that was it. Yeah. So 2015, we decided to go all in. We did the factory, and, you know, kind of our philosophy with not only the cigars and their profiles and the branding, but just kind of the idea that, you know, at that time, I mean, we were kind of the only gringos living in SLE doing this, you know what I mean? And so, you know, we very much just kind of felt very different and very much like the black sheep. And so, you know, that's where the name came from. And that's kind of our philosophy, you know, we do what we do, and that's it.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and I noticed you guys have a couple of Emilio brands too. How did that come to be? Like, because I remember back, you know, probably like what 12 something years ago, like, you know, Gary Griffith and all that with the AF1, AF2, the Drag, like all that stuff. Like, how did you come up on that? Is that something that you just acquired the name of? Like, how did that happen?
No, so you know, we ended up going with distribution with, you know, back then it was Boutiques Unified or whatever it was. And, you know, there was like 1502, Ezra, a bunch of guys involved in all that, Nomad at the time.
Nomad.
And so, you know, we have a great relationship with Scott Zucca, who owns Emilio. And he had kind of gone through some rough patches with, you know, various brands and, you know, Gary and all that stuff, you know. And so kind of as that evolved, you know, Scott kind of wanted us to kind of step in with Emilio. And, you know, it's always a brand that's kind of not had a very consistent feel or identity to it.
Yeah.
So we brought everything in-house, under the factory as far as manufacturing goes. And then we also took over the branding and the marketing of it and really kind of revamped it and gave it kind of a fresh new feel, fresh new look. And, we've put out a lot of really cool new stuff for them. The audio file was a huge hit for us.
That was a very good cigar. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a really fun project for me to kind of, because profile wise and design wise, Emilio is very much kind of out of the box of what we do for Black Label and Black Works. So it's been really cool to be able to do something different with Emilio.
Yeah, it allows you to kind of use that as a playground or like, a chemistry lab to like experiment and like do stuff you wouldn't otherwise do.
Yeah,
obviously, because like it seems like Black Label definitely has its identity. Like with like even your Connecticut's, they're not just like a Connecticut. They have a little bit more going on than most Connecticut's, which is a good thing. You get flavor, but yeah, I appreciate that because back early into the hobby, I got into cigars in 2008. So like a few years in the hobby, I started seeing Emilio come up. So I appreciate that you're keeping that alive. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's, like I said, it's a brand that I think now is kind of coming into its own and, it's kind of been all over the place for a while and now we've kind of honed it in. And I think it's cool too, for a lot of the guys that are all about Black Label, Black Works. It gives them the opportunity to smoke something else out of our factory that's a little bit different in profile, something that they may not normally go to. So it's good to be able to like broaden our range and give people different options.
Totally, man.
We got a question from Syndrome.
Yeah, no, I can put that one back up, but let's see. Syndrome asked what the barriers to market entry were like starting up in Nicaragua versus other countries. I don't know how familiar you are with other countries, but what do you?
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak to Nicaragua, and I would say that we were obviously super nervous, super concerned about what is it going to be like being two Americans coming in and trying to do something different, trying to basically compete with a lot of these guys that have been around forever and these big factories that have been doing their thing for a long time. But I would say that overall, I mean, we were pleasantly surprised. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that we moved our family there. My wife and I are there full time. Our son is there. He's going to school in SLE. We very much became a part of the community. And I would say that we were really welcomed by everyone that we encountered, especially other people in the industry. And so that was really, really awesome. I mean,
you weren't just some suits showing up,
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, and I think people, they definitely had respect for what we were doing and what we wanted to do. And they understood it. They understood that it was different and why it was different. And, we've had a lot of help from people, especially in the early days, that honestly, like I wouldn't have anticipated it. So it was really awesome to see that, and our production manager, he's been around forever. And so he has a lot of great relationships. And so we were definitely able to capitalize on that and kind of make relationships with people we might not have necessarily gotten to know. So yeah, things just kind of worked out, and now we're definitely, I think we're part of the SLE cigar scene for sure,
Definitely.
Dope.
Absolutely. How much of the blending are you involved in is what Jonathan was asking. And do you find it difficult or do you find it easier having a sommelier-like background when it comes to the actual blends themselves?
So I do all the blending. I do all the artwork. So yeah, I mean, I would say when I decided to start blending cigars, I was definitely able to kind of go back to what I learned from the wine world and from my sommelier training and kind of apply that to tobacco. I mean, obviously tobacco reacts very differently with your palate than a wine or any kind of spirit, but kind of the core elements of training your palate were very similar to what I learned being a sommelier. So I was definitely able to use that and capitalize on that.
Does that influence at all you getting or wanting to blend in like dark fruit notes in your cigars? Because I gotta say, I feel like this might sound crazy, like I'm getting grape sweetness on the cigar a little bit.
Yeah, I think
crazy.
it definitely has kind of a raisiny quality for sure. No, I think, it's that kind of just is something that comes from, the types of tobacco that we use, especially a lot of the Esteli tobaccos that we use, which I would say, things like Esteli Ligero, which tend to be very, very kind of rich in that dark fruit, earthy note. Also, kind of a nice kind of black licorice star anise flavor to it. We use that in a very large amount of our production cigars. I mean, even cigars that you wouldn't expect to have Ligero in them, like the Royalty, for example, or the Porcelain, they still have it in there. And I think for me that those flavor notes that you're talking about, they're kind of like the signature note to our factory. You know what I mean? Like, I think that most of the Oveja stuff that comes out, definitely you can kind of pick up on that nuance that it has.
Okay. I got to ask you, what was harder, starting a cigar business or starting a hotel? Because I saw that you started a hotel in Africa, right?
In Africa,
What?
yeah.
In
Yeah.
Africa?
Wow. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to hear this story, man. I got to hear the story, but I also want to know which was
Look at
harder.
John with the research. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say both equally difficult in their own right. But being there's no comparison to anything I've done, to living in Africa. I mean, that's a completely different animal in and of itself. So, yeah, I mean, that was definitely, I would say, a very different experience, but felt a lot harder, and I don't know if it's just because of the fact of where we were, but we were also very young at that time, my wife and I, and we were at a very different place in our lives. By the time we got to starting the cigar brand, we had already lived out of the US, had done other businesses in other parts of the world. So we were more familiar at that time with kind of what it took and what we needed to do. But yeah, Africa was an interesting experience for sure.
What?
And
Which country in Africa?
Ghana, West Africa.
Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay. That is
Yeah,
nuts.
our son was born there, so yeah, it was a cool time for sure.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's wild, because y'all were like in London, right? And what put Ghana in your head?
So we didn't set out to end up in Ghana. So I've always been a big Land Rover guy. So I've always owned Land Rovers. I've always been in love with the idea of what a Land Rover is, and this idea of go anywhere, do anything. My wife and I both really loved the idea of kind of this vehicle dependent travel. And so what we decided was we were going to kit out our Land Rover Defender and do a trip from London all the way to Cape Town. And so we spent however long getting the truck ready, getting everything sorted. And yeah, started out, shipped our vehicle from England to Spain, went through Spain, ferried over into Morocco. And then we spent about 9.5, 10 months in North and West Africa. Got to Ghana, and we're able to find this kind of very cool remote beach kind of in the middle of nowhere, and ended up camping up there for a couple of weeks. Decided to leave, came back, kind of were like, we liked Ghana because at that point it was a nice break for us. It was very chill. It was the first English speaking country we had gotten to in Africa, after like 10 months. So yeah, we were just really enjoying it, and so at that point, we tried to leave a couple of times, and we ended up being there for like a month or month and a half, something like that. And, we were just kind of like, look, we can get to Cape Town, then we don't really know what we're going to do. we don't really know what's next, or like, what if we just stay here and figure it out? And so, yeah, we ended up meeting with the village chief and buying like 10 and a half acres of beachfront property in the middle of nowhere. And, literally built a luxury eco lodge out of nothing, so we ended up being there almost 6 years, and like I said, our son was born there. But yeah, it was a really cool time.
Any crazy stories? I mean, I don't know anything about Ghana as a country, but yeah, just any crazy stories while y'all were there.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, you'll have to wait for the book to come out, but yeah, it's nonstop. It was nonstop insanity. I mean, it really is like, 5 years in Africa. I mean, it feels like a lifetime, to be honest. Like, it's very, very intense, very different. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a buddy of mine who he goes to the Congo every multiple times a year, and I mean, dude, he's been chased by rebels, like in the middle of the night, jumping in a river full of crocodiles to get away from the rebels who are chasing him. So I know the Congo is very different than Ghana, so I'm not trying to compare the two, but he has just some insane stories. So
no, it is. It's a very interesting continent for sure.
Are you at all interested in working with Zimbabwean or African tobacco? Because there's some companies started to use. Oh yeah.
I mean,
okay.
No, I mean, I'm definitely interested in it. I mean, I think at this point in time, most of the tobacco that's being grown in Zimbabwe is kind of geared more towards cigarette type tobacco. I'm not sure that at this point that they're growing anything that would really lend itself well to cigars. I've heard people have tried it and played with it, but I don't know. The other side of what I've heard is that it's not great, unfortunately. I will say that when it comes to, African grown tobacco, Cameroon is probably my favorite wrapper leaf of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I mean, the hyena, I know you guys make that, so
fantastic cigar.
And it's one of those things where, it's funny because obviously Cameroon is grown in Ecuador as well. And, it's a beautiful leaf cosmetically. It's bigger. You don't have a lot of flaws. Whereas, from Cameroon, it's very small, lots of cosmetic issues with it, but the flavor of it is just, there's nothing like it. So it's definitely one of my top leaves.
Is there a type of tobacco you haven't had the chance to work with yet that you at some point like see yourself wanting to work with in the future?
I would say, there's definitely some different varietals out there. I would say some of the Brazilian tobaccos I would like to have more access to. It's one of those things where there's just not a lot available in Nicaragua, and what is available is kind of already owned, before it even gets in the country. But I really like those tobaccos, and I think that I have some ideas that could be interesting and unique with those. So yeah, I would love to work more with a lot of the Brazilian wrappers, some fillers as well.
I can see Air Paraca fitting right in with some Black Label blends for sure. Like with the strength and the oomph,
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we've only had the opportunity to do one Brazilian wrap cigar, which is the Poison Dart, which came out a couple years ago. So yeah, that was kind of the inspiration behind that cigar, was to really highlight the wrapper. And I was really happy with that project. I think it was very different, very unique, especially for Blackwork Studios.
Yeah, they had obviously the frog on the band. A lot of colorful, like different theming for that cigar too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I gotta show off this.
Yeah, great construction.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, Keelan's got a question. What was the first cigar to take off for your brand?
So unlike a lot of brands out there, we kind of, without knowing anybody in the industry, without having any like input from anybody, we just kind of have always done things our way, kind of what we thought. And so our approach with launching was, unlike most people that start with like a cigar or two cigars, it was really important for me to to highlight the brand itself, right? Like I wanted it to make an impact as the brand, not just kind of a guy making a cigar. So we launched with 6 lines because, we really wanted to be able to show what the brand was all about, kind of show diversity in the lineup. And within those 6, I would say that they all started out pretty strong, but I think the early leader that is actually still up there as one of the leaders in the core line would be the Last Rites. That cigar for us has always been, a great representation, I think, of what Blackworks or Black Label is all about. And so, yeah, I would say that kind of in the early days that started to creep up and kind of got the foothold as our number one stick.
There you go.
What is the difference between Black Works and Black Label Trading?
So, we started with Black Label Trading Company. The idea behind Black Label was to obviously be, what we are, which is a small kind of, boutique brand. But I wanted Black Label to kind of be, a little bit more of the mainstream of what we do in terms of vitolas, in terms of profiles, having a lot of variation. And so when we started the factory in 2015, I had a lot of ideas for cigars that didn't necessarily fit within the Black Label mold. And so I decided that I wanted to do something that really highlighted the artisanal qualities of cigar making, with things like the Killer Bee, the Hornet, the Tiger series that we do. And so, I kind of looked at our factory very much as like a studio space where I had the freedom to be creative and, create art, which is cigars. And so Blackwork Studios grew out of that. And I wanted it to be a brand, like I said, that really showed what we can do as cigar makers in terms of, the cosmetic appearance of a cigar. But you'll notice with Blackworks as well is all the vitolas, everything like we talked about a little bit earlier, are definitely smaller, more geared towards kind of cigar nerds, cigar enthusiasts. What we produce out of Blackworks is also much more limited in terms of how many vitolas we do. So yeah, I would say that's kind of the difference is, for lack of a better term, Black Label is a little bit more mainstream, whereas Blackworks is more kind of focused on these very kind of small particular projects.
Okay.
So I knew, let me just ask it this way. Do you listen to Wu-Tang when you're blending cigars?
I listen to Wu-Tang all the time. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So I gotta say, when I don't think of this when I think of Wu-Tang. So are you a metalhead as well? Because I think of metal when I see your stuff. So is it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that. So another way to kind of think about the brands, kind of differentiate the brands is, for me, both of these are kind of an extension of myself, right? Like I do the cigars, I do the artwork. I feel like the cigars need to kind of tell a story and represent, what they are. And so for me as a person, I'm very much kind of those two sides, right? Like I think Black Label is definitely kind of the punk rock and roll, metal side of my personality, but there's also like the Black Works, which is very much kind of the urban hip hop, kind of feel. And so I'm very much both of those things mixed together. And so I think the two brands give me the freedom to kind of represent both of those.
Okay. Any Bruce Springsteen side that's going to come out at some point?
I don't think so. Yeah. There's not going to be, the Bruce.
You don't want like a country line of cigars too, just hit all the different genres.
I think Lawless is going to be the closest we get to that. And that's kind of my small little tribute to Texas, where I'm from. So it's got the cow skull and the barbed wire, and that's about as far as that goes.
I love it. Yeah, I'm from Texas, so that resonates. I dig it.
So I noticed like with because I don't drink alcohol, but I noticed like when guys paired their cigars with a liquor, it's typically like a bourbon, a whiskey, something like that. You know, being a sommelier, like, do you pair your cigars with wine? Like, what are your thoughts on pairing cigars with wine, and like, why isn't that more prominent?
I mean, I would say that I drink wine with cigars, but
Yes.
wine and cigars are not a great combination.
Okay.
So wine tends to be very acidic on your palate. And so the more acidity you have, the less you're going to get out of the smoke and the less you're going to get out of the wine. So I kind of know what to expect when I'm having wine with cigars, and I know that I'm not going to get the best of either of those things, but I still do it.
Complimentary. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I know that the cigar is not going to be exactly what I want it to be, and I know the wine's not going to be exactly what I want it to be. So it's just one of those things that just because of the nature of wine, it kind of affects your palate in a way that you're not getting the full experience of the cigar. But things like, fortified wines like ports, things like that are fantastic because, sugar kind of naturally keeps your palate invigorated and kind of awake. So, if you're talking about spirits, things like that, anything that has kind of a hint of sweetness on the finish, like especially rums, dark rums, we talk about like certain bourbons, single malts that tend to be cask aged or do really well with cigars. So things that are not overly acidic, things that don't have very strong bitter quality notes to them, do okay with cigars.
What is your personal favorite pairing?
Honestly, like if I really want to get into a cigar, I'll just have like a Coke or a root beer or something like that. Because I do feel like the sweetness, the sugar level there really allows me to get a lot more flavor out of the cigar. And so, I keep it very, very basic. I would say that a lot of people are definitely not going to agree with me on this, but, coming from my wine days, I would say probably the worst thing to have with a cigar would be water. And it's just, water is constantly cleansing your palate.
I love it.
And as you're smoking, you want your palate to be very in tune with smoking. So as you're smoking, if you're drinking water every time you have a puff of your cigar, it's really kind of starting over with the flavor profile of the cigar. So, that's my thing. I would never do water with a cigar, but I know a lot of people disagree with that. But
I love that because everybody drinks water with cigars. Like, no, that one, not the one to go with. And Michael has like the biggest fucking grin on his face right now too. He's yes, please.
I love when the alcohol people all stick together, man. I love it. I love it. We all stick together on this one. I actually had somebody comment on a video the other day. They were like, there's no way that you get those flavors off of taking a puff for 1 second. And then they followed that up with all of those flavors are not found in cigars. It is purely tobacco, and it's either mild, medium, or strong. And that's just a scheme by the wine industry to tell you that there's flavors that there's not. And I don't know if they know my background and what I do. I was just like,
Yeah, right.
So what you're telling me is that all red wine tastes the exact same to you? That's hysterical.
It's either red or white, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And it's either mild, medium, or bold.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I agree with you 100% on that, dude. Like, absolutely. You have like cigars that are really acidic in pH already. Then you're going to put something that's really acidic in pH, like red wine, on your palate. You're kind of, not working with the right tools all the time. That kind of pairing. Madonna, Orthodox, best in the portfolio. Favorites outside of those.
So Kilan's kind of biased towards those cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I would necessarily say that. But they're up there. They're up there. I would say it's really tough. I mean, those two cigars are kind of opposite ends of the spectrum for me. Whereas the Madonna was a cigar where I knew it was a gamble to do that cigar as our 10-year anniversary cigar because it wasn't going to be what people expected the Black Label 10-year anniversary cigar to be. But for me, it was kind of a snapshot of where I am as a cigar maker 10 years down the road. You know what I mean? I feel like it was a cigar that I couldn't have made before that point in time. It was kind of a culmination of a lot of things that I learned along the way. So, the Madonna, I think, is a very unique and special cigar in that regard. And the Orthodox was kind of my counter to that. So because the Madonna was very different for the Black Label portfolio, I knew that the next year when we put out a new cigar, I wanted it to be kind of coming back to Black Label's roots, which was kind of bigger, bolder, more intense. And so that's what the Orthodox was all about, was kind of, saying, yes, this is Black Label. This is what we do. This is how we started. And here we're back to it. So, yeah, I mean, it would be really tough for me to say, I love them both for very different reasons. So.
Well, thank you for saying that the Orthodox is bold, because it kicked my ass a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, it's probably our highest nicotine level production cigar that we've put out. So yeah, it's definitely it's a big one.
Thank you.
How you feeling up there, DJ?
I'm good. The heat's not helping, but yeah, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Why the room's spinning.
Yeah, I had it in this. Oh, go ahead, Nat.
I was gonna ask James, like, have you had like people like in the industry like help out mentoring you? Like, have you sought that out, or is this everything you've done, because you seem, independent, everything you've done? Have you had anybody in the industry kind of like take you under their wing and like, guide you, or is everything just hit the ground running, do it yourself, just, independent?
No, I mean, I've never really worked with anybody. I would say that I have acquaintances and a couple of friends in the industry, but, nothing that's like kind of long-term relationships or anything like that. I try to stay very focused on what we do. Even to the point, people always ask me, like, do you smoke other people's cigars? What do you like? I really don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm very focused on what we're doing. And kind of my explanation for people is, if somebody hands me a cigar that's super popular right now, even though I'm really curious about it, like, what do people like so much about it? I'm not going to smoke it, because I don't want that coming into my head when I'm thinking about my next cigar. Yeah. I kind of keep my blinders on and stay very much like in my lane, and this is what we're doing. This is the cigar I want to make. This is why I want to make it. I don't really want it influenced by something else that's out there that's popular or what other people are doing. So yeah, I mean, I stay pretty insular as far as the industry goes. And, like I said, I know people, but, I've never really had anybody involved in helping me or anything like that.
Yeah, you prefer to have all your cigars be an expression of yourself, not of someone else.
Yeah, and I think it's really important for me, like, that what we do stands out as being very unique. Like, I don't ever want anybody to pick up one of our cigars and be like, oh yeah, this tastes like whatever. I really want it to be something where it's like, okay, yeah, a Last Rites is a Last Rites. I've never really had a cigar that was exactly like that, or, the Orthodox or whatever it is. So yeah, that's kind of my philosophy is, just focus on what we do, and, everybody else is doing good stuff too, but I don't want to be influenced by it.
Sure. Makes sense.
What's the benediction collab with Smoker's Abbey is an amazing smoke. Any other collaborations out there or in the works? I'm thinking probably not after your last answer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I don't know that I would call that a collaboration. So the benediction is a shop exclusive that we do for the Smoker's Abbey stores. You know, we do a few of those, you know, for shops that have kind of been around for a long time. They're really good, big supporters of us. You know, we just released one for Hogshead Cigars in Virginia. We do one for Atlantic Cigar. We do quite a few for our field in Hawaii. So yeah, we've done a lot of these kind of shop projects over the years, and they're always really cool and really fun. You know, to do something for the retailers that, you know, are super supportive of us. And there's
Nice.
always, yeah, I would say like kind of down the pipeline, you know, we're always working on something new, and we've got a few lined up. You know, I think we do 3 or 4 a year now for like Hawaii. So there's always something out there kind of cool and new and interesting.
And a question from Syndrome: any pushback or opposition from the industry at all with what you're trying to do?
You know, I don't know if I would say from the industry. I would say for the most part, everybody we know, as far as like, you know, for the most part, like brand owners, manufacturers, have always been very kind of cool with us. I mean, we've always, you know, we've had our fair share of haters, especially early on in the beginning. You know, a lot of those guys are not really around anymore, so that's always nice to see.
Yeah, right?
But I would say mostly, like, you know, we have, you know, it still kind of baffles me a little bit, but I mean, we've definitely had retailers that won't carry our product because they don't like the imagery, or, you know, kind of back in the early days, we had guys that didn't want to carry morphine because, you know, they didn't like the name, and some things like that. But, you know, it's all been kind of small stuff, you know what I mean? But nothing where it's like anybody majorly having anything against us, I guess.
Yeah. I anticipate there's probably never been a Blackworks cigar that's or Black Label Trading Company cigar that's been in Cigar Aficionado that's been rated by CA, and you probably don't give a shit. Like that's not something that you're interested in, like trying to get that kind of recognition.
So yes and no. Like, we definitely don't seek it out, but we've had a lot of cigars in Cigar Aficionado rated 92 and above. So
Shit.
yeah, we always seem to get great ratings from those guys. I mean, I think they gave the Lawless Churchill like a 94.
wow.
You know,
Damn, man.
recently they reviewed the entire line of Santa Muerte, and I think 2 of the Vitolas got 92s, 1 got a 93. So yeah,
Nice.
we've like I said, we don't send them anything, we don't seek it out, but it's great to, you know, get that recognition. Obviously it feels good, you know, especially from something that's seemingly more mainstream. It's always nice to be recognized, for sure.
Oh yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
What were some of the cigars that first just hit your palate that you just made you fall in love with the hobby?
So, I mean, it was really kind of a wide variety of stuff that I was kind of going through, you know, just trying to see what I liked, what I didn't like. I mean, I will tell you the first like cigar that I had that I would consider to be like kind of at that time, like a real cigar for me, which kind of, you know, kind of opened my eyes a little bit to how different cigars could be, but also for me at that time was a very strong cigar, was the old Ashton Cabinet VSG, the box press.
Yep.
So yeah, I
Great
mean,
cigar.
I definitely remember that cigar because, like I said, it was kind of opened my eyes. Like, okay, like, wow, this is really different than anything I've had. And but you know, I smoked through a lot of stuff. I mean, I used to, you know, try through a lot of the DE stuff. I liked a lot of the really early Tatuaje stuff. So yeah, just kind of a wide variety of things, really.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask you that. I was going to ask if Tatuaje at all was an inspiration to you, because I kind of felt like they were sort of a boutique disruptor back, you know, in the 2000s, coming in as a cigar brand named Tattoo. You know, were they at all kind of an inspiration or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely in a sense of like, you know, I'm very much, you know, people ask me my opinions a lot about different brands, about big brands, you know, and kind of my feeling is that, you know, all of these brands are here and are around because they serve a purpose, right? Like, if people weren't buying it, they wouldn't be here. And so I'm definitely of the opinion and understand completely that I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today if it wasn't for people like Jonathan Drew, Pete Johnson, all of these guys that kind of, essentially paved the way for, brands like ours to kind of consider coming into this industry, and people like them wouldn't be around if it wasn't for, all of these legacy brands that have been around forever, keeping the industry going and all of that. So, I definitely think, like I said, everybody's kind of got their place, and, we all kind of serve a specific group of people, and it works out.
Yeah. Very cool.
Did, like, with your travels, especially outside the US, you probably had a lot of access to Cubans. Like, did you go through like a Cuban phase during your travels, like especially outside the States? Is that something you feel like, I don't think it's probably influenced your blighting style, because it's not, it's opposite of Cuban-esque,
Yeah.
But did you have like that phase?
No, it's honestly, like, it's never been my thing. I've never been able to understand it. It's just, I don't know. I can't understand people's fascination with it, other than the fact that they can't get it. I think if you get
Forbidden
it,
fruit.
you smoke through it, and if you legitimately want to tell me how that cigar is better than other cigars out there, I need to hear why, because I personally can't understand it. I mean, I've never encountered a cigar that I've been overly impressed with. And I don't think it's just my palate. I think it's just kind of the way things have gone over there. I can't speak to what Cuban cigars were 20 years ago or 30 years ago or whatever. But I can speak to, what they've been in the last 10 years. And to me, it's not anything that's been overly impressive. So, yeah, I mean, I've tried through a lot. And yeah, I've just never really gotten into it at all. I think if anything, it was a big inspiration to me to say, like, this is what Nicaragua is all about. You know what I mean? Like, this is the tobacco that's coming from here. It's so much more diverse. It's so much more interesting. Like, I just want to shout about it,
Yeah.
You don't like plug cigars that explode?
Not really, and it's like,
okay.
I think it's one of those things where people can sit around and make excuses for Cuba all day, every day. And in reality, there's no excuse. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of is what it is. And if that's what you want to do, and that's what you want to smoke, and that's how you want to spend your money, cool. I don't give a shit. Like, do what you want to do, but we can't pretend that it's anything other than what it is, Yep.
Dude, anytime I post a review on Cubans, I always say that I'm like, I hate posting reviews of Cubans, because if something goes wrong, I'm gonna have some Cuban apologist come in here and say, oh, you didn't keep it at the right humidity, or you didn't do this, or you didn't do that, or you didn't do that. And I'm like, no, dude, I take care of my cigars. Why is it only Cubans that consistently?
You have to swaddle the cigar properly, John. You have to swaddle it.
I didn't play the right music for it,
Yeah,
to come alive. Yeah.
No baby Einstein. This actually brings up a good question that Jonathan posted a few minutes ago, but he said, Saka came on. He was very critical about certain parts of the industry. Sanj, who's one of our regular guests that we formed a great relationship with, he's been on multiple times, and he has some critical things to say. And understanding that you have to be a little cautious about what you do say, but you guys all have a very strong belief that the core lines should be at a certain price point. You offer obviously a very high quality at that price point. And do you have any opinions about kind of how the industry has moved away from, offering that quality at that price point as of late? And then, like, some of these crazy $100, cigars and $50.
We're seeing more and more of. Yeah.
You see more and more of.
I mean, it's interesting, right? I think we're at kind of a very interesting time in the industry for a couple of reasons. I mean, I think that, on the manufacturing side, I think more so than even people that are just brand owners, like, I can convey that people really don't understand that the cost of cigar production continually goes up, right? Every year, tobacco goes up. Every year, labor goes up. Every year, every aspect of what we do on the manufacturing side, all the raw materials, everything continues to go up, to go up, to go up. And when you talk about manufacturing, when you talk about brand owners, we essentially live in a nickel and dime world, right? There's no dollars involved in what we do. Our margins are exceedingly small compared to, say, like retail, right? So in reality, for us, it's a volume game. And, I think brands that are successful have been successful because we're very conscientious of trying to keep that price point at a very specific level for the end consumer. But with that said, it becomes more difficult and more difficult every year. So, as the years have gone by, everybody that's selling a cigar between the $10 and $12 price point, our margins have just gotten significantly lower, with the hope that being in that price point, we're going to be able to make it up, through volume. But it is really difficult. And I think, obviously you guys, you see the press releases all the time, right? Everybody has price increases. And I'll tell you, that isn't going away anytime soon. And you're probably going to see a lot more of it, because in reality, we're to the point now as manufacturers and brand owners where we can't allow our margins to go any lower than they have, and we have to kind of face the fact that, like, the new $10 cigar is a $12 to $14 cigar. And that's going to be kind of the new median price point, and things are just going to continue to go up from there. And, I think honestly, as of right now, it's basically the same as everything that's happening, especially in the States with the price of things. But I will say, like, consumers should understand that we as an industry have been very conscientious of trying to give you the product that we can, the best quality product we can at the best price for a really long time, and we hate it as much as you do for the prices to just keep going up. But in reality, there's nothing to be done about it. But yeah, overall, I don't know. I can't speak to the quality of other people's cigars and what's out there and all of that. I mean, if you want to buy a $35, $40, $50, $100 cigar, then go for it. I'm not going to say that there's anything about that cigar that makes it worth that. That would be for the manufacturer to let you know why you should spend that. But, that's up to you. But I will say, though, that kind of on this topic, we've definitely gotten a lot of praise over the years for being able to kind of keep our price points where we have. But we do hear a lot of times from a lot of retailers that you guys need a more expensive cigar. Like, people want more expensive cigars. Like, can you put out something that's, in the $18 to $25 range? Like, that's what
do you have a cigar that's in that range at all?
I mean, so the only thing that we do that's in that similar range would be our Tiger series, which for us are event-only cigars. So like the Neon Tiger, the Tiger Lily, the Con, those are right in the $18 range. But, when you look at it, it's a lot going on in a cigar, so the 3 to 4 wrappers, the multiple wrapper caps, all the artistic stuff that's done with those cigars is what dictates, the price point on them. But yeah, that's really all we kind of have in that price point. I mean, we did the Viaticum a couple of times, and that was kind of in the $14, $15 range, based on the materials that we use for that. But yeah, we haven't put out like kind of a standard production cigar in that price point.
Got it. Well, we're at the hour mark. Matt, you go ahead.
We'll end it with this. Since you've been in the industry for 11 years now, and you had your 10-year anniversary cigar come out last year, what's something you wish that, like, yourself now you could have told yourself, back when you started in the industry, like a word of advice that you think would have been like the best form of advice that you could have possibly gotten? Like, what do you wish that you knew back then that you know now?
I will say this. I would say that probably I wouldn't say anything, because I believe that I'm sitting here today because ignorance is bliss. If I would have known then what I know now about like what the last 10 years were, I don't know that I would be here, because I think that a lot of people really underestimate how difficult and competitive this industry can be. There used to be kind of this joke where, kind of when we started like 11 years ago, we would kind of kid around about the guy with like $5,000 and a plane ticket who thinks he can start a cigar brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was kind of an idea for a long time, but in reality, no, man, it's super tough. It's super competitive. You have to be in it all day, every day. I would say one of the most surprising things to me, I would say, is that after the last 11 years, things don't get easier, right? Like you never reach a point of being able to just relax. It's just the nature of the industry, right? Like if you're not out there, if you're not hustling, if you're not in people's ear at the shops, talking to your retailers, talking to your consumers, people just kind of move on to something else, and it's one of those things where you have to be there. You have to hustle constantly. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a passion driven industry for sure. And I think at the end of the day, it's like any other business you go into, right? Like it's going to take up 10 times more of your time than you think it's going to. It's going to cost you 10 times more than you think it is. You're not going to make money for twice as long as you thought it would be. And that's just kind of what it is, I mean, I feel like as far as like boutique brands go, I think at this point we're kind of one of the bigger ones. But there's still a lot of consumers, a lot of retailers that have never heard of us, that don't carry us, So, I mean, and that's after like 11 years of grinding. And so, yeah, it's always a hustle. It's always a grind. You got to be out there to do it.
Which is what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
What's the time difference in Nicaragua? What time is it there?
9 o'clock. So we're an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I don't know. It's one of those things where I would just tell people, like, I've had a lot of people ask me about starting cigar brands and whatever over the years, and it's like I would never tell somebody not to do it, but I'm always very upfront with like what the realities are of it. What to really expect. It's not all just hanging out and smoking cigars, and you have to treat it like a business. You have to run it like a business and take it seriously.
Yeah.
On that note, I think that you have a really great person in Derek, and I really appreciate him for reaching out to us at the end of last year, kind of getting the ball rolling, and then for having the opportunity to come on and speak with you tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you to him, and thank you to yourself for coming on.
Oh, definitely, man. Yeah. No, Derek's great. I think overall we've been really lucky to have a great team. I mean, we started out with me kind of saying, okay, I have cigars. Like, I don't know anybody, but I'm from Texas, so let me start there, and like knocking on retailers' doors like a vacuum cleaner salesman. Like, hey, try my cigar. To now we have an awesome sales team. And everybody is just so good at what they do and involved in the brand. And, we've been very fortunate that they are as much a part of building what we've done as me or my wife or anybody else, and I think it's kind of cool because a few people on our sales team actually started as consumers super early on, and what I love is that the brand affected them enough and in a way that, they wanted to be a part of it, and that's really meaningful to me. And it's great to have those guys involved.
Definitely.
Awesome. Anything you want to say to our audience or plug? Anything you're excited about? I mean, obviously you've had some releases just come out, but yeah, I just want to give you the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, honestly, like it's always really cool to come on shows like this. We appreciate your guys' support. We appreciate the reviews, and having people chime in and watch and send in their questions. Like, it's great to be able to communicate, with the consumers. And, we're just really very humble that, you guys are into what we do, and it means a lot. And, we appreciate the support on all ends, from our retailers to consumers to, the media. It's great. And, as far as cool stuff coming out, we're going to finish the year with 2 other releases that we have coming. So we have a new version of the Intergalactic that's coming for Blackwork Studios.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we also have our release of Morphine that's going to be coming in towards the end of the year. This is going to be the 10-year anniversary for Morphine, so we're kind of doing something cool with that. Morphine was our first release back in 2014, so it's always been kind of a very special thing for me, and definitely people's favorite. It's been around for a long time, so we're going to do something new with that for the 10-year.
Nice, man.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Nice. Well, James, thank you for your time, man. It was awesome to have you on. Freaking the most interesting man in the world, freaking of cigars in the cigar industry, with everything you've done. So thank you for your time, sir. And yeah, good shit all around.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
100%.
Yeah, we'll have to do an Africa show at some point.
Hell
We can
yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hey,
Open
if you ever come out with the spring steam, just make sure it's a Zimbabwe Purdo. That's the only thing I ask. The only thing I ask.
You got it.
Make sure it doesn't sell. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, James. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
You too.
Later. And then there were 4.
And there were 4.
How?
That was cool. That was
Yeah.
interesting. I want to hear some of his stories, man, about the hotel and his escapades.
What the fuck? Like, I had no idea. A hotel in Ghana.
Come on,
Yeah.
man,
That's
pull that out.
That is insane. And I like, there's something to be said about just being, like, having his blinders on and, like, literally, like, starting his company. He's in Nicaragua. He doesn't know what the American market's like, or he doesn't have like a that accurate of a pulse of how it's going in America. He's just like, this is what I have. Take it. It's like, take it or leave it. This is it. This is what I do. This is what I love. If you like it, great. If not, screw you. Like, he's just doing it to the beat of his own drummer.
Like, just diving into the pool, man. Whatever you do, like, head first. That's
It's working.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
You know,
something. I'm gonna
this
go grab
Bishop's
another
blend,
stick.
this Bishop's blend did not kick my ass as much as I thought it would.
Good.
No, they're nice. They're nice.
Yeah.
Very chill. My camera went out because of the heat like twice.
I figured,
I
yeah.
saw it. I
We
saw
saw the
like
bars.
as soon as it like immediately after you finished asking a question, the bars
Yeah.
went up.
It was like the perfect timing. It was just like, and I'm gone now.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, he was very interesting dude. Very interesting dude.
Yeah. No, that was good.
So what how have your guys' Saturdays been? What you been up to? And DJ, did you not fall asleep last night
No, I didn't. fall
during the
asleep.
play?
No, play was good. It was a good little, kid production. It was a good play. I got my first jury summons in the past like 10 years today, so that sucks.
Wow.
But,
That
yeah,
stinks. On a Saturday, you get that in the
Yeah.
mail.
yeah.
Fuck that, dude. Yeah, I've been living in Orange County for probably like the last like 6 years and haven't gotten one yet.
Yeah, I've
So-
been the first time in Texas, so that's what happens.
They
But
found
we'll
you.
see. I have no
They gotcha.
excuses anymore, so that blows. But it is what it is.
I know so many people that just like throw it away and just don't acknowledge it, which
Yeah,
is
I
not
bet.
smart. But as far as I know, it works for them because they're not in jail. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I had a shirt that said "Arrest me, I prayed at school today," and I'd wear that anytime I'd go in California. And then it was easy because I'm like, I'm a student, I'm doing this, and most of the time they're pretty chill. But now I'm like, I don't want to be here. Is that a good excuse?
Yeah.
No, just go and say the most a cop would arrest someone if they didn't say something wrong. Say something just crazy one way and hope that they kick you out. That's the goal.
Yeah. Yeah. John, what you lining up, man?
Got the new blood medicine in Toro for this year.
All right.
Yeah. So
I've heard not so things about it so far.
That's what I've heard too. Yeah, I'm thinking about reviewing it just because this size is a 2024. So I'm just going to kind of give it a test run, see when I want to do it. So yeah.
Yeah, I smoked the one before this year, and it was okay. I think the band's like the coolest part about it, but
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've heard that the one that you smoked, DJ. I haven't had either of them, but I've heard that one's definitely leaps and bounds better than the one that John's about to light up right now.
It had a lot of natural cherry sweetness. I like that one a lot.
I remember that in your review. Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
What did you guys light up?
Shit. You guys can help me.
Oh
All
no!
right.
You gotta get a fan pointing at that thing.
I mean, I thought that we would be good. I didn't have a problem last time, and then all of a sudden, I'm like out here. It's only 95, and I'm like,
Yeah. That's what I had to do last year. I had that New Air fan, and I pointed it at my camera to keep it going.
What do we got?
At least 3 guys.
Ooh.
I had the Warped yesterday in a review. So,
Ooh, Michael, what size did you smoke?
I smoked the Toro.
What's the one on the left? What's the one on the left you're holding? What is that?
This is the Felipe Gregorio 30th anniversary.
Okay.
Okay.
So
you
you
have
have some
an
Costa Rican in here.
I say that one.
Yeah, that one's different. I go with that one.
Yeah. Change it up, man.
All right.
Hopefully
All
it's
right.
not.
Let's check it out.
Hopefully it's not bad. DJ, what did you light up?
I gotta put on my sweater.
Oh, screw you, dude.
Fuck you just a little bit.
Yeah.
I lit up Alma del Fuego
Okay.
in the
Nice.
Cortez.
My camera's over here melting when he's putting on a sweater.
Oh yeah.
I know,
Good thing
right?
I kept my space heater out. Oof.
I'm sitting here going, my fan's kind of far away, and he's putting on a sweater.
Dude, my girls today were like, Dad, when are we gonna play soccer or lacrosse? And I'm like, about 2 months.
Couple of months.
Couple months, yeah. Lest we all get heat stroke.
Yeah, we're finally getting. Well, not finally. We're getting people dying of heat exhaustion and shit now because it's finally hot. enough. Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, right.
It's about damn time.
That's how all the Fox News app will pop up and be like, someone's died this year, and you're like, great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of exclamation points.
Yeah,
Like, maybe tone it down a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, this is not enjoyable to be outside. That's why I couldn't be in the backyard like John is. That's bad, man.
It sucks, man. It just there's no way around it. It just sucks.
Well, it doesn't help because the brick just keeps the heat. All so even whenever I would be in the backyard, I'd hose that whole thing down first just to
that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
To help cool off. Yeah.
Yeah, it just stays there.
It'll create like a sauna effect when I do it. It'll just be like steaming. Hey, you guys in the comments keep putting up questions and stuff, man. We'll answer them. We'll get to them. Matt, how was your weekend?
We went to H Mart today, which is like like a lot of Asian foods and stuff like that. So picked up some pretty cool stuff. I got like some unique ramens and udons and stuff like that. So yeah.
I think I figured out the problem.
What is it?
I left the rechargeable battery without the dummy battery,
Oh,
and the dummy battery stays cooler than the rechargeable one. I think.
Interesting.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
yeah, if you have like any type of a Wi-Fi setting, to turn that off.
Yeah, I probably should do that. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how we do here.
Yeah, all that shit creates heat and
Yeah,
drains batteries and all that
Bluetooth
shit.
and everything else. That's
Mhm.
probably what it is. But yeah, shout out to the 55 concurrent. What's going on,
Dope,
everybody?
dope.
You guys
Thanks
hung
for
out.
hanging out.
Yeah.
And yes,
You know, that,
Syndrome, Hound Dog's in California.
Southern California, Laguna Hills, Orange County.
oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can drop a pin if you want to know the exact location, and stand outside his house.
Mustache rides.
Oh.
DJ.
Yeah, I was just trying to help him
better-
grow his Patreon. That's all. You know.
You better be a patron. You better be a patron, Syndrome.
No free rides.
These aren't free rides. They're not free rides. Oh, Lord have mercy.
I have not had the Byron Reserve at
I-
3 años.
I've had the 4, I think. Is there a 4?
Which one did I have? I think I put it on the channel. Let's see.
I think I've had the Cinco Años, the 5-year.
Byron.
Yeah, I almost smoked one of them tonight after, but I figured the Orthodox would just murder that in comparison.
You should, yeah. It's probably best to smoke on a fresh pellet with that cigar. It'd still be enjoyable, but it would, Orthodox is a strong ass cigar, even with a year of age on it.
Yeah, I had forgotten until about halfway through, and I was like, oh yeah, this was not the best choice for the heat, but we're here.
Yeah.
Hey man.
Dude, that's how I felt with the Cosecha 149 Cortez when I was out there. I thought I was about to pass out, man. And it was just so hot and thick.
Yeah.
I was just like, this was a bad choice, man.
That is a beast of a cigar. That is probably Placencia's strongest cigar.
Okay.
Not necessarily the Cortez, but the 149 in general. But that Cortez, you definitely, it's no slouch.
Well, it makes me feel better because I was like, nah. It was some
Yeah, it's totally cool. We can get together for a smoke whenever you want. Just let me know which one. The one that I go to is usually the Henderson one, but I can hit up the Sahara location too. Shoot me a message on IG.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Does the Byron 21st need aging, or can I hit it fresh? Being a Connecticut, it's it's not necessarily something that needs age, but put a year on it, put a couple years on it, it could become more creamy, in my opinion. Yeah.
Dude, I love
That cigar. That cigar will definitely. You still, I think DJ. I think you still like the Santa Fe, the it's like the short Robusto, like the. I think you still prefer that one, right?
I like that one. I have the Cortez. I haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
I didn't like the Cortez as much as the. I can't say it, man.
Azagualpa. Azagualpa.
That one. That one. I like that one a lot. I didn't like the Cortez quite as much, but I really like it in that Vitola.
What I like about Placencia is how a lot of cigars will come out, and James he mentioned this too, early on with his company. The first release is great, and then the second release isn't quite the same, With Placencia, consistent. They're all all the lines that they come out with, every the Alma Fuerte, Alma de Fuego, whatever, they're very consistent cigars after the first release.
Yep. Dude, this is kind of a random note, but I don't know if I'm going to name them. Biggest cigar retailer, basically. I mean, but okay. We went in there because, okay. So my brother and I, we went in there and in one of the locations, and dude, in the back corner, and I mean like this particular location too was kind of a mess. The whole store was just kind of disheveled. And in the back corner was Dunbarton, Foundation, Placencia. It was just like they were all just shoved to the side, and they weren't even in the back corner facing. They were the facing away. I was like, and maybe it's just that particular location, they don't sell it well. I don't know, but I was like, what are y'all doing, man? You got Placencia, Foundation, Dunbarton, like all of the big ones, the big hitters just shoved to the side. Like, and the ones in the middle were just like, oh, dude, I don't want to call any brands out, but anyways, they weren't Dunbarton, Placencia, Foundation. It was just, I couldn't believe it though, like just how bad they just pushed those away. I was like, I wonder if something happened with those guys. But
they shuffle. I don't know about. I'm assuming you're talking about the Colony. The one in Fort Worth shuffles their entire humidor, like at least they used to, constantly. So you'd go in and be like, I know it's over here. No, it's not. And all the shelves are backwards now. And they'd always move shit around. I have no idea why.
They're trying to do the Costco trick where you see things, like the impulse buying thing. But I'm like, okay, I get that if that's your approach, your thought. Yeah, but like maybe still don't put your best brands like just kind of shoved over here and like just disheveled.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
DJ, are you gonna pull an Inception and review your own cigar?
I mean, I can just for a longer content, yeah. But last I checked, I don't know how many are left. I need to ask and see if it's even a point to do that. Because that's the whole, like, I can, but I've already done the video to get people to see it. So it's like
announcing it. Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, and it's not there's not a point, but like I'd be biased. I like it. Like I tell you that now. Like
yeah.
It wouldn't have got to this point if I didn't, you know?
Yeah. It'd be interesting. You could do like an Inception kind of thing, just kind of, fuck around with that kind of thing. But it'd just be a good opportunity. Like next time you have a story to tell, just, smoke that, do that.
Yeah, definitely.
How's it going, man, by the way, with it?
I have no idea. From what I can tell, I haven't asked. I've had time to think about it with the new job. From what I can tell, you can't buy 5-packs anymore. So I'm assuming
you can only buy singles.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's
I was
really
like,
good.
all right. And I've gotten a lot of people saying it either showed up today or they've had it and they really liked it. So the feedback's been good.
I saw Jono's just got his end.
Yeah, that's cool. It'll be interesting to see what he says about it.
That's cool, man.
What's a DJ 912? What is that?
912 is at the end of somebody else's tag.
Huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
I picked it.
Well, I'm dumber because I still don't get it. So,
someone else reviewed their own cigar from Pravada.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm catching up. I'm tired, y'all. Damn.
Not poking any bears. Just coasting on by.
Yeah. I mean, we can poke some bears. That's fine.
This Dr. Pepper Coconut Zero is really good with cigars, FYI. It's super nice.
The new coconut is pretty good.
Yeah. This is nice.
There's a Dr. Pepper coconut.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big
creamy
coconut.
Like
it tastes like suntan lotion to me.
It's really good. This is surprisingly nice. I wanted to put some Malibu in it, but I was like, oh shit, it's time to get outside now. So
yeah,
you just put regular rum in it. You already got the
coconut. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
This thing's already frustrating, man.
I used to get the worst hangovers like drinking Malibu just because of the sugar content.
Oh, yeah.
It was not fun.
All rum is just loaded with sugar. We did like a blind tasting on Friday, dude, and This rum that we tasted was just an aged rum, like well aged, but you could just tell like all the rancio notes from the oak they were masking with a shit ton of sugar. It was like so sweet and then like really like musty oak, just like
I couldn't stand Jamaican rum when we were there. All they talked about how great it was, and I'm like, this is not for me at all. It's so much sugar.
It's a lot of sugar.
Well, congrats, Pipes and Cigars. That's awesome, man. What cigar should they christen the new back patio? They close on their first home.
Whatever's the cheapest fucking cigar you have if you just bought a house.
That's a great point.
Very good call.
You got any quorums?
Yeah. Little factory smoke.
Yeah. Those Perdomo frescoes, man. People were talking, not to plug anyone else, but Cigar Page has them for really nice right now. That's what all the comments were on that video. And I'm like, because normally you gotta buy them in like a bundle, but if you can get that cigar, that's like as low as like $2.50 a stick. And I'm like, that's crazy good.
Nice.
Shit,
Those cigars
nice,
were surprisingly, but the sun grown specifically was really good. I'd smoke that over a unicorn every day.
Mm-hmm.
So out of the three, you like the sun grown the most?
Yeah. Sun grown the most. The Connecticut was really good. The Maduro is fine. For me, it's hard to find a cheap Maduro cigar that doesn't taste cheap. Like they all have that similar. Yeah, this is a bunch
like
of cigars.
drying,
and
dry your palate out.
Yeah, and
enter.
Very like the
Try
taste.
shit.
You're like, all right, this is the barnyard everyone tastes. This one has it. And that's not. I'm not a fan of that one.
Hey, y'all
Later,
see
Wesley.
this. Watch
Thank you,
what I'm
man.
gonna do. Watch what I'm gonna do right here.
Yeah.
Oh, even with the ash holding, it was that bad?
It won't stay combusted, dude. The smoke output, and it doesn't even have a bad draw. But I'm like puffing on this thing, dude. I'm relighting it, and it just so I'm gonna go get a good cigar.
Something good. Yeah, something good.
Okay.
Where's the blood medicine made? Is that Pichardo?
Picardo? I believe
Picardo?
so, right? I believe so. Crowned. I have one that I was gonna do a review on, but I've been holding off.
Yeah, I've not heard a single
Why-
good thing.
Yeah.
Been holding off. Let's see. Yeah, it's made at Picardo, Takanisa.
No clue.
Jonathan, I like bubble water, but I do, because it's so hot outside. Sometimes I just need to hydrate, like in between smokes, or just regular. So for me, it's whatever water I have. But I do enjoy bubble water just because it kind of like is a little bit more refreshing to the palate.
I like mango. Yeah, I like
Mhm.
mango chainsaw liquid death. That shit's
Nice.
delicious.
I think I've had that one.
Yeah, I see Rikus. His or her question.
One cigar.
Only one brand. Oof.
I know Sal's probably like having a fucking meltdown, right? Not a meltdown, but he hates questions like this. I'm not a big fan of questions like this because it's so dependent on time of day, diet. It's just right
Sal's hat
now.
is hanging off of his head right now.
Yeah, well, he shit his pants with the Cuban hate. That was a no.
Go like this. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't think there's a good answer.
I mean, there's you got to think about variety. Like, what brand has the most good cigars and the most variety? Like for your palate in this point in time, at this exact point in time.
Yeah. No, I would continue my one-sided relationship, and I'd have to say JC Newman. They got so many different types of cigars.
Yeah.
I don't think
Good
they have
choice.
a Cameroon though, right? That's the one thing that
Yes,
would
they
make me
do.
sad. Do they?
Yes, they do. It's a limited release. They have the 95, which is like a Lonsdale. That's one of their older brands. They also have the Diamond Crown limited edition Cameroon Select or something like that. That comes in a coffin. They have that as well.
Then that's what I'd say. That'd be mine.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I hate questions like this so much.
It's hard.
It's so difficult. Like my brain just keeps going back to selected, to the United stuff, just because you get to have like all the Atabays, the Byrons, Atabay Black.
Yeah.
Going for quantity.
Yeah. Fuck.
Do they have a Cameroon United?
No. Maybe like one of their sub brands that I'm not as familiar with, but off the top of my head, I can't name one.
Yeah, it's a hard leap to give up.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of. Oh, go ahead.
I'd say Fuente, but they don't really have like a great Connecticut. Like their best Connecticut is Connecticut's a JC Newman. Exactly.
That Maduro I smoked this morning of the Diamond Crown was so good. I've never heard anyone talk about it, and I got it in some pack, and I'm like, whatever. And then I lit up, I'm like, this is great. Why?
The little number 5?
I was like, why have I never heard of this? It's so good.
When I filmed that McDonald's Granny's milkshake, that was like one of my recommendations for the pairing. I just never like finished the video. Yeah. So, but I threw that in there, and I smoked one. I want to say I was at the lounge earlier in the week, just visiting with some friends, and I smoked that number 5. All of those have been very good. I used to smoke the double Corona back in the day.
What size is the number 5?
It's a 4.5 by 54.
Corona.
Okay. They're all 54 ring gauge. Like all the Diamond Crowns are 54, except for the Figurado. That's like gets up to a 60, I think. But all the other ones are 54.
Yeah.
I'll switch it up a little bit, because a lot of times I agree with you. Like I think of the variety and I think of Fuente and stuff, but I think I'd be really bummed out if I could never smoke Principal again, man. I just love how they hit my palate. So they might not
have a lot of variety too.
They do. Not quite like some of the brands that we mentioned, but I love the tobacco that they source, man. So I would say Principal for me right now.
Good call.
I have a weird relationship with Fuente right now because of some recent reviews. So I'm down on them right now, a little bit.
All right.
I haven't had the Nasty Fritas H99, or is that, I forget what, maybe just the Papas Fritas H99. I still haven't had that one yet. I've had the H99, just not the small one. Oh shit, Pete, nice. You've seen the lights. Your PPS is not active tonight.
I've still not seen the light on that one.
The Grimace Shake.
That was a weird trend.
Yeah.
Michael, what did you light up again?
I did not mention it, so thank you. I lit up my 14-year rested Omar Ortiz Maduro.
Nice.
I think I threw one in your pack, didn't I, John?
You did, man. You did. I could not figure out what it was. It was so hard to read the little lettering. But yeah, dude, that thing is yellow.
Yeah, it's brown. This fellow, I think I have it. Hold on. I think I threw it in my little waist bin, but I can grab it. Hold on.
Are those the ones that just have the foot band?
Yep.
So those were kind of released as kind of like a Rocky Patel Edge.
Yep. They were
Yeah, but it was meant to mimic the Edge, I think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Damn.
you tell with my white skin, that thing is dark.
Yeah. Too bad
that's
we
like
don't have Carpenter here.
And then they just have a little footband that comes on it. But yeah, these things they've been hanging out for a minute.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Probably
Right.
over 20 years now.
The Padrones that Matt sent, I think all of us, the 1000 series or whatever, those things are fucking brown cellos too.
Yeah.
And those only from like 2019 or 2020 even. Like their Padrone, something about the wrappers they use, they just like they stain the cello like really fast.
It's probably how they treat the cigars.
Yeah.
Too. You know,
they got
like,
some coatings on them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's less on my lips and just on the cello now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those 1000 series perform really well with some age on them, though, man. I smoked one of those and it was really good.
They turn into like a 64 or 26. Like with the age, like you get the similar quality of experience with the 1000 series.
Yep. Definitely.
This Gregorio is bomb.
Nice, man. What are you getting off it?
A lot of like it's like a fruity sweetness, but like a tropical fruit, like a guava or like a passion fruit, something like that. And it's like it has the I know it has more like Costa Rican tobaccos in it because Felipe Gregorio is typically, the Laney's end.
Nice. That's funny.
Nice.
Damn.
It's an image,
man. Yeah, maybe drink a little more water before bed. A
little bit.
Or
Don't take a
vitamins.
multivitamins right before you fall asleep. Hitting that multivitamin at the end of the day.
Damn.
No, we'll be
Who's
here for
talking
another
about?
6 hours. He's talking about Saj.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Just come flying in.
Yeah.
You got that covered, Keelan. You got that covered for all of us.
I
Shit talking
need to
Padron.
smoke one of those Padron Blacks. I have 2 of them. I need to light one of those up.
Those are good. Those are very good cigars. So
Yeah,
what's been a cigar? So sorry, DJ.
Oh no, I was just saying I naturally wake up at 6 a.m. on Saturdays now, so I'm gonna start shooting cigar reviews here, so I'm not just in a car all the time, which I despise.
Mhm.
Well, and also, yeah, it's with the weather out there right now, earlier the better, right?
Yeah, well, and also trying to do a review when my dash says 108 driving home is like crazy unpleasant because I don't even get to use the air basically because it's just going out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun.
How long's your commute now?
Going there, it's like 36 minutes, but coming home, it's at least 45 to an hour, depending on when I leave. So, and it depends on. So when I started, there was no school. So now there's school buses all over the place, and that slows everything down. So it just depends. I'm trying to find a good time to leave.
Sure.
So far, it doesn't matter.
Padron Black is money. It's a great cigar. The downside is like they're so limited. You don't see them that often. And when you do, they're like $60, $45, whatever, something crazy.
Yeah.
But that's a fantastic cigar. So what's been a cigar you guys smoked lately that's that you either really liked or that surprised you?
The
Last
warp.
couple of weeks. Nice, dude. When is that? I don't want to put any pressure on you, but when does that review drop?
It'll be either Tuesday or Thursday next week. It'll be one of the two because I have one Bishop's Blend stage that I'll probably smoke tomorrow, and then I'll cut and edit those 2 episodes for the week. But those were the next 2 that I had in the lineup, were the Bishop's Blend by, oddly enough, Black Label, and then the Warped.
So fucking good, dude. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for people to other people to review it because I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I want to see what everybody else thinks about it.
Very different than any of his other cigars in the best of ways.
Yeah, and it's nothing like the Chinchale either because of being made at La Isla.
Yep. Yeah, where the Chinchale has all that florality and extra, toast and dryness coming in. Like, this thing was definitely that much better.
So good. What about DJ John cigars you've had recently? Either really liked or surprised you?
I mean, everything. I've smoked everything lately. Everything I've smoked has been good. The Perdomo Sun-Grown was good. I smoked the Red Meat Lovers by Saka. That's what I was smoking when I got pulled over. Cohiba Nicaragua was really good. I've been smoking some really good cigars lately.
Yeah, the Diamond Crown Maduro.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
What about you, John? You look pretty pissed.
No, I'm not. I'm not pissed now. I'm good now.
Is that an RS-88? Oh, that's Omar. Is that the Omar?
No, it's the RS-88 Cameroon.
Okay.
No, yeah. John got one gust of wind, and he was waiting for the rest of it to come back.
Cigar.
It was a breeze for half a second.
I have my fan out here. Like, it's helping about 2%. No, I said it on our last live, and I'll still say, man, the BDX Blanc was delicious. So that cigar, it needed a couple months of rest. The ones I got at least, but dude, that I'm gonna be reviewing that one next. That was damn good. So I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I feel like I kind of brought it up when James was on, but I'm kind of noticing more cigars are coming out with like these fruity berry kind of notes, man. Like I was thinking of like the Antra, the Orthodox, this BDX Blanc, dude. I mean, within a puff or two, it's just instant berry sweetness, like right at the beginning. I don't know if there's a trend or something, or some kind of just tobacco that's been harvested over the last
I'm
year,
sure
couple years.
Some type of tobacco that they all get. I mean, and then they end up having them.
Could also be like different terroir. Maybe like the rainfall was better or worse in whatever variety is really commonly blended into the filler and the binder.
Yeah.
And all that stuff has the same cigar with a different wrapper on it, and they're telling us it's different.
It could be your palate too. Maybe your palate's just going through like a certain evolution to where it's like it's picking out certain flavors more so than others.
That could be.
Are you eating more berries?
Probably less, actually.
So your palate's trying to find it since you're not eating berries. So it's I need my berry fix. Get it in a cigar. That
could be, man. That could be.
Yeah.
And I'm actually not even kidding, because we're buying. I go to Costco. And I'm always getting a ton of fruit because we just go through it like a family of locusts because of our kids. And so my wife's like, we got to change it up. So lately, haven't been getting any berries because they go bad faster. So we've been getting
super fast
peaches and pineapples and stuff. So you know what? That could be. Maybe it is.
I know stems are supposedly there for construction purposes, but I don't think you're supposed to pull out like 6 in one cigar. I don't think that's supposed to be. I don't think that's supposed to be. Jesus Christ.
That's bad.
It's probably like super ashy now, huh? After having to pull that shit out. Yeah. Dude, that sucks.
That sucks.
There was even one in the tiny little Orthodox. I was like, man, no wonder this thing was a little tight because it was small. That plus a stem, not great for the draw.
No.
That's better though. Jeez.
How about you though, Matt? Any cigars out of? I mean, we know the crocodile, but
you know what? You know what? I was surprised by the decade, the Rocky Patel decade.
Oh yeah, okay.
I was pleasantly surprised by that cigar. I was like, because I had it once before, probably like 12 or 15 years ago, a long time ago, and I just remember like feeling like really muted, like not getting like a ton of flavor out of it. The one I had a couple days ago was damn good. I was pleasantly surprised.
Nice, man. I used to love
I had
that
no
cigar.
idea, Jonathan.
If that's
Sorry.
true, this thing was caked.
I mean, it would make sense, right?
I'd be
Plants
flying.
grow all the energy, like it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we're not scientists.
No.
Yeah, that decade, man. I used to love that cigar back in the day, and then I tried one in the late, like 2000, like teens or whatever, 2010s. I didn't really like it. You know, maybe it's just kind of ebbed and flowed, but I used to love that cigar, so I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed one. Maybe I'll pick one up because I used to like that one a lot.
Oh yeah.
It was a good cigar, man. I had it in Torpedo. I don't know if it's size dependent, if it's like better in Torpedo than other sizes, or maybe other sizes are better than that these days. I don't know, but I had good luck with that size, the Torpedo.
Okay. Nice, man.
See
you, Pipes and Cigars. Thanks for joining us, man.
See you, dude.
Don't forget to sign up for your mustache ride before you leave. Movie time all the time, TT.
Have I watched any movies lately? I don't think I've watched any movies.
I haven't.
Not in the last week. Because I remember we talked about the movies that we watched last week, or that I watched last week.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't had time to watch much of anything.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting for, is the opportunity to watch the new Alien, but I have not yet.
Is it out?
I think Kilan saw it. I think because he talked about it in his live.
Oh, okay. Dope. Gotta go rewatch that.
Is it in theaters or was it a home release?
It's in
In
theater.
theaters.
Okay.
Got released, I think, yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Out here, at least.
I still need to see Deadpool and Wolverine, but I don't know when I'm going to go to the movie. So.
Demolition Man.
Like the original Demolition Man?
I think that's probably what he's referring to, since Texas is a dinosaur.
Like 20 years ago.
Oh, good. I just saw Keelan's comment pop up. That's good to know.
Nice.
They remedied Covenant, Alien Covenant, which I thought was not good.
I thought it was okay. That was okay.
It was okay. It was okay. I mean, you want more from an Alien movie.
I guess.
What?
He explained the seashells finally. Okay. What did he say? I saw a TikTok of him trying to explain it and he didn't say anything. You know, the 3 seashells. That's not.
What are you saying, Taurus?
Yeah, okay, so you watched the original like recently then.
Damn, we're putting it in the top 3 of all the Alien movies. Okay.
Dang. Wow.
That's
a
dope.
bold statement.
That's dope.
Shit, Keelan.
I mean, coincidentally enough, it's like within the same timeline, right? Romulus is like in between Alien and Aliens, so that's cool.
Okay.
All this shit's I never saw the OG Demolition Man, so all this shit's going over my head. Just
So
per usual.
There's no toilet paper. There's just 3 seashells, and in the movie,
Yeah, they're just seashells.
they never explain what the fuck that means or what you're supposed to do with them. And then every like Taco Bell is a fancy restaurant in this timeline.
You need toilet paper. If
Not
every
anymore.
restaurant's Taco Bell,
Yeah. You don't even like I don't know, it's like VR sex, but has replaced actual sex in Demolition Man. It doesn't sound like a great place to be in general, but that is Demolition Man.
I like Taco Bell. I'm one of those dumbasses that likes
That's
Taco
where
Bell.
you went first.
But I wouldn't want it every fucking meal. I wouldn't want it for every fucking meal. No, thank you.
Did you check out the Decades release that they put out in California this past week?
Huh?
They're bringing back like the Gordita and a couple of other things, like one item from like 3 or 4 different decades, and they're starting it out in California. Like 3 or 4 Taco Bells in California are going to do it in different cities to start off, and then they're going to roll it out nationwide.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. Aside, the menu looked the same to me last night, so
Okay. I'll send you the thing that I saw on it.
vital information I need. I need this.
Dude, I need to go get the Gordita. I need to, go relive my childhood a little bit.
You guys remember like it was probably like around a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, when the Mexican pizza was like fucking a really hot commodity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was whatever. Like it was like a shitty tostada. Like it was, I don't get it.
You should watch Demolition
Watch
Man.
Demolition Man.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
good movie.
It's
All
fun.
right. I like I like cheesy, mindless, pew pew kind of movies. So
Yeah.
It's up there for that. I mean, we're going from the masterpiece of Shogun to Demolition Man, so there might be some whiplash there.
Yeah.
I watched Beekeeper, so I've already dipped well beneath Demolition Man, most likely.
Yeah. That was a good idea. Yeah, you'll be fine for Demolition Man.
Yeah, I haven't seen any movies. I watched a shit ton of explanations about Longlegs just because I know I'm not going to watch that shit, but I wanted to learn about it, and I'm good.
It's like what you did to me with Tusk. I didn't watch it, but I watched like all like the reviews and recaps. Fuck
no
that,
one
dude.
watched Tusk.
Dude, that was an old favorite too. 7-layer burrito. Mm-mm.
7 layers of hell.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen any movies, but I'm really excited that I just found out a new season of Tulsa King is coming out, and I love Tulsa King. The first
Tulsa King was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Tulsa King's
Is
fun.
that with Sly? Is that the one with
Yeah.
Sly?
It's the Taylor Sheridan. It's a Taylor Sheridan, which I love Taylor Sheridan. Most of his stuff, not all of it, but yeah, it's his one that he does with Stallone. Really good show.
This Gregorio's fucking money. This is a great fuck. I think it's a pretty expensive cigar too. I gotta check.
Looks expensive. I feel like those Costa Rican cigars end up being more expensive just because that tobacco.
Yeah, the scarcity of it.
Mm-hmm.
The chat really likes Taco Bell. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we've come across something here.
We've hit a nerve.
We'll have to have a Taco Bell segment in the show now, I guess.
Are you saying you get to see Dennis Leary's ass? and Sandra Bullock, or just you're excited about Dennis Leary in general? Which one?
$40. Yeah, I see your comments, Sal. $40 cigar.
Dang.
Whew.
Too many of those right now.
I don't like the price. Yeah, I don't like the price, but I really like the cigar. I'll tell you that.
Oh man, too many of those.
Ecuadorian Habano Rosado wrapper, Costa Rican binder, and Honduran filler. Huh.
All right.
Huh.
So is it minerally at all?
I'm not getting mineral, no. It's like, wow, I actually like this cigar. It has Honduran in it. What the fuck?
You know,
I should have said that because Aladino makes a lot of damn good cigars, and they're Honduran.
The Crustacea series.
That too. You're right. That's kind of its own beast, but yeah. Like when I smoke that cigar, I don't think about Honduran. I just think about a fucking really strong ass, earthy Plasencia.
They're all Honduran Puros, aren't they?
Yes, they're all Honduran Puros. And
got
the
a,
LFD 30th, the LFD 30th drops tomorrow.
Nice.
Damn, little peek behind the curtain there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that I guess justifies $40.
A little bit.
can you verify that? Like, they could write whatever the fuck they want in a description, and who's gonna fact check it?
Who can fact check it?
Yeah.
It's like I need to see papers. I need to see how long. Like they don't have audits. They don't have shit like that down there.
Nah.
This vodka was distilled 55 times.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the Southpaw Gran Habano. They make a lot of their cigars in Honduras, but I don't know how many of those cigars use Honduran tobacco though. So
yeah. Is there factory? It's been a little bit since George Rico's been on, but is there factory in Colombia or Honduras? I think no, it's Honduras. It's Honduras.
Yeah.
He just has a lot of ties. He is Colombian.
Yeah.
He's Colombian, and he uses Colombian tobacco in his blends, but his factory's in Honduras.
Yeah, but I don't know how much Honduran tobacco they actually end up using. I'll have to look kind of in and out. So. CEO
Fucking
Wheeling. Is there any other brands that do Honduran well besides Aladino and Plasencia?
Sure shit ain't Camacho. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Sorry, Camacho.
Rocky Patel uses Honduran tobacco quite a bit.
He does.
Obviously, they're hit or miss, but I'm wondering if there's any one of theirs that I like that uses Honduran tobacco.
So does Alec Bradley. A lot of Honduran.
Yeah. EKB talked about it.
Yep. Gross.
Oh damn, Rickus. Dang.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's shitty.
That's brutal.
Yeah, you should really dress up as best as you can that care package.
Mm-hmm.
No,
That's
no Honduran
fucked.
tobacco.
No
Or
Thailand.
you do that.
No
You
Thailand.
do that.
No Thailand.
You could.
No
You
Thailand.
gotta be careful. You might
you
find out
could.
some things about your
A lot of
friend or
pretty boys
yourself.
in Thailand.
Yep.
Find out a whole bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me, I got to rewatch Hangover 2.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Trying to rack my brain, like if I've ever seen that. I know I've seen the first one. Everybody's seen the first one. I'm not. I sure shit haven't seen the third one, but I don't know if I've seen the second one.
Yeah, the second one's the worst of the three. At least it was.
Yeah.
Really?
Going to see them in theaters was awful because you get all the people that enjoy that type of movie all in a theater together. So they're just yelling and talking the entire fucking time, and I'm like, man, this is not a group activity, guys. Like,
Yeah.
So the third one's actually all right then, because after the second one, I didn't even want to watch the third one.
yeah, I like the third. The third was more like the first. The second one was fucking awful, and I didn't want to see him doing any of that shit. That was
The third one was in Asia, right? Somewhere in Asia.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thailand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very fitting, very apropos.
Tigers love pepper like Matt. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. More context syndrome.
It's from Hangover. It's from Hangover when he's like, Tigers love pepper. Tigers love pepper.
You gotta watch that.
When he's salting the steak to throw to the tiger in the bathroom, and they're like, "Why are you seasoning it?" And he's like, "Tigers love pepper."
God,
they hate cinnamon.
Yeah. You got to rewatch it.
No say.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen the first Hangover. 2 was Thailand.
Yeah, 2 is Thailand. I think 3 they're back in America because they gotta like break into a house or some shit. I don't know. I don't remember the plot of most of them. That's not one you like pay attention to the plot.
Yes. and DJ, is the guitar in the background specifically for this live stream because we had Black Label on?
Yeah.
Or is it will it be a common fixture?
No, I'm not.
It looks tight. It looks tight back there.
It looks good, dude.
I'm not leaving it in the garage. No, that's a Carvin bass guitar. That's not chilling in the garage.
You can always bring it back out, but maybe it's a pain to set it up.
Yeah. No, I mean it's not bad. I just threw it in there.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
It looks sick, dude. Is it Carvin?
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been into guitars. Yeah, it looks dope. I vaguely remember the name. Carvin.
I bought it from a family friend for like $50, and it is not worth $50. Yeah. It was just Yeah. And I was like, oh cool. I gotta get the pickups need some solder work done. But yeah, I've had that thing for like 15 years. I used to play a lot more than I do now.
No.
Are you kidding me? I was like Guy Liner, Rock Band, All the Rings, all that shit that was.
Like, oh man, you should have been in the thumbnail tonight then.
Well, it's been a while. I don't know, but yeah, it was more fun to throw Matt in there, give him a pink mohawk, all that shit.
Yeah.
Turn me into a Streets of Rage character.
Yeah,
the hot topic.
Serenade us. Hey, people still call you Jimmy. People still call you Jimmy.
Oh yeah, it's always Jimmy. That's fine.
Dude, I see in your comments, like at least it seems like on average, once every video, they call you Jimmy.
Yeah. Hey, they call me worse. I'll take Jimmy.
What you guys don't know is that he still wears the guy liner.
Yeah, it's still there right now.
You can't see it.
You can't see it, baby.
Yeah, there's some kid. So we went to see Annie at my wife's school, and there's a kid that's always in theater, and they always make him wear eyeliner. And I was talking to my wife because they're all like kids. I was like, does he just wear that all the time? They're like, no, they make him wear it when he goes on stage. He's the only one. I have no fucking idea why. So he's some random kid that's walking around just on eyeliner all the time. I'm like, that sucks to like have to do that. I don't know if he looks terrifying on stage without it or what, but I'm like, that kid has eyeliner on in Annie. Like he's Tim Curry right now.
Yeah.
With eyeliner. It was weird. Yeah.
Tim Curry from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, right. But I'm like, what is this? Yeah.
Dude, Wheelan. Yes. Looking forward to seeing your thoughts, bro. It's the best warped I've ever had. I don't want to try and pry that out of Michael because his review's not out yet, but it's the best warped I've ever had.
It's already filmed. I can't take back what I said. I could just cut out certain things.
That's
yeah, it's
so
already
good.
filmed. definitely completely different from all the warps that I've had, especially the last couple, which have been a little.
I still
Yeah.
have not smoked a single warp cigar.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
You'll get there. You get around to it.
I'm not being persuaded.
Get around to it.
I'm all right.
Mine is coming out next week, but I did film it last night.
Nice.
Can't wait, dude.
That's
Yeah,
what I hear. That's what I hear.
Not missing much.
I just keep putting them in a drawer.
I don't know, man. There've been a few.
Eagles Descent was good. I like the Eagles Descent a lot.
Love that cigar. Great
Really good
cigar.
Yep.
Brittle wrappers, though. I noticed the wrappers on
Yes.
those tend to crack fairly easily.
Very much.
Oh,
so.
that Jay London that I talked about last week on our live stream. So
The Mr. London, yeah.
yeah. So when we get finished up with the live stream, I obviously ordered the warped, and I also ordered another Jay London, even though I said that I wasn't going to. And I'll leave out the name of the place, but they sent the Jay London, and they had it in the pack with its own individual pack because it was the only one that didn't come with cello. And
Okay.
sure enough, whole entire cigar cracked all the way up side of the cigar. So
And that thing has a body band on it too. It's like it's covered. It's like it's protected.
I'm going to grab the cigar and show you how bad this was because I contacted the place and they were nice enough to credit me for it. So I grabbed another one just the other day. But yeah, I don't know if this review is supposed to actually ever get published, but I'll grab it.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
shouldn't
incredible.
have to wrap a cigar in bubble wrap. That's probably not a great sign.
Yeah.
That's
You gotta wrap it in a fucking Trojan. Something. Just really protect that thing.
Yeah, that's not.
It's a J London, Mr. London, LE. To answering Greg. I'm pretty sure that's the one that Michael's referring to. That will be seen soon.
I don't know if it happens again, boys. I don't know if I could do it. So it comes
3 strikes, you're
in the
out.
plastic,
Holy
in
shit!
this, right?
Oh my
In
gosh.
the plastic with the rest of the cigars
It has
and-
body armor.
Yeah.
and the friggin' body band. And look at this thing. Like, hold on, let's get a little bit closer. So, bam,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then this bottom piece right here. This is missing now. It
Hmm.
just popped off. Like, I don't know what I have to do.
Awful. Awful,
Put
man.
that thing in some glue, just all the way down.
I'm gonna say it was probably user error. It was user error on this
It's
one.
definitely you.
It
Yeah,
was all me.
Drop kick your cigars.
Yeah, it was all me. Look at this thing. This thing like goes up.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. So.
Can I recommend an infamous smoke show top 25 for 2024 prior to the aficionado list release? So kind of like a consensus amongst us 5. That'd be interesting.
Ooh, I like it.
That'd be interesting.
We do the top 25 live stream. Oh no, I just lost another piece of this.
That's actually that's a pretty dope idea.
But would it be released prior or after our own list?
Probably after. I mean, we could do like
When does the
A
actual
group
CA
one.
article come out? January?
I think it's like it throughout December, but I think like number 1's released right around New Year's or right before New Year's.
Okay. Because like mine usually comes out on the 31st, right? I guess we kind of figure it out. Check out the list.
I think I had better initial views releasing it a week prior, so Christmas, just
Okay.
because that week a lot of people just have off, so a lot more downtime to watch content. I think the one I did before that was New Year's Day, and that one didn't get as much play initially, but it did more long term. The ROI, the views later on came in greater volume.
Yeah, those lists
So-
are stupid, but they do great for views.
Our
Yeah.
live stream is scheduled for the 28th. Does everybody think that we're going to make that as of right now? Like, does anybody have a trip or anything like that?
I'll be here.
Right now, no. Right, because we typically, with my wife and I, we go out to Virginia every other year, and this would be an off year. So right now, no plans to travel.
Yeah, I don't think I have any
I mean,
plans
we
to
could
travel.
do it for the 28th show, and I'll just drop my list on the 25th.
Beforehand. What
Yeah.
day does Christmas fall on this year? Do you know, Mike?
Wednesday.
Fuck. That's not a hey. No, I could do New Year's Eve, the 24th. That's a Tuesday. That's a post day for me.
Yeah, or I could drop it. I could drop it on New Year's Eve too. Like, we can drop it together. I don't care.
Yeah, Double Dragon, dude.
Yeah, it'll already be filmed.
Don't-
So either way.
No.
Do y'all remember last year when we had a run of just posting like the same cigars around each other for
Yeah.
like a month, and people were like, "Y'all are coordinating." We're like, "We're not." I promise.
No, it's what's new, and it's what half of us got in packs and
Yeah.
views.
Yeah, we're
No.
not that structured.
And
Yeah,
Keelan, are you still going to do like a top 10 and top worst list? I hope that's the case. It
Yeah,
seems like you will.
Popsicle.
This cigar is money.
Do you have any more of them?
Yes, I
So-
do.
Well, the reason I was asking was it sounds like it'd be a good cigar for you to review.
It'll be my first Felipe Gregorio review, which I think FG, he doesn't get a lot of play just because he's not as big. But people should know that they should know about him. He makes damn good cigars.
That's when we should all do together too.
Bro.
Do that.
Maybe even instead of our top 25, we all talk about the shittiest cigars we smoked that year.
People
The naughty
love
list.
controversy.
Yeah.
The infamous naughty list. I mean, it would fit the infamous
Yeah.
theme a lot more.
That works.
You know?
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Like, we're just gonna shit on
S-
these 10 cigars.
Syndrome's just like, no, I want good cigars.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean,
all
we
of a
all
sudden
do.
just veered the other way.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all do the top whatever 10, or I wouldn't do 25. That's too many. But yeah, that'd be fun. We all just get on and shit on cigars for a live stream. That'd be way more entertaining, in my opinion.
I
'Cause
got one that made the
DJ
list already. I got one that
Yeah.
made the list already.
One you can't even fucking smoke because it fell apart on you before. But instead of the Razzies, Ashies, Trashies. So DJ, you did a top 7 last year, right?
Yeah, something like
Or is-
that.
no,
I pull a
it-
random number out.
Or it ended up being like you did like 3 honorable mention or 3 categories, I think, special categories. Okay. And John, you did a top 10, just a top 10 list, right?
Yeah, I
And
did mine.
Michael,
I did a top 10 release of the year, and then I did a top 10 just overall cigars
In
I
general.
smoked in general.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Michael, you're
Best
10.
of. Yeah, I just do the best of because 5 of them, and then however honorable mentions that there are. Sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually have a running list. I don't have shit this year. I'll have to go back and actually think. Normally, I come up with categories and I'm like trying to be organized, but not 2024. This has been
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
I was looking at my list. I have not smoked as many good cigars this year as I did last year.
Same.
I am hoping I have a much better back half of the year with some much
Yeah.
better experiences, because right now I think I've had 2 highly recommended cigars this year so far.
Yeah.
So
2023, every cigar I smoked at the beginning of the year was like, oh, this is the best cigar. This is the best cigar. 2024 started out with, this cigar sucks.
Yeah.
We've gone from there and now it's picking back up. But it was
2024 has not been a great year for me. So, all around.
I was in comparison
As
to
a
like
whole.
how good 2023 was. Yeah.
I'm trying. I think I don't know. I don't notice like I haven't thought about it too deeply, but I haven't just the feel that I have. I don't think it's too different from years past. I know I smoked just as much or more unparalleled cigars, which isn't many, but still, similar.
Mhm. But like you hit 20K this year, yeah?
Yes.
Think of how long ago that feels compared to now. Like that's how fucking long 24 has been.
Mm-hmm.
Just as far as shit happening. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, crowned
that's
heads.
good.
I love crowned heads, man. It just hasn't been great this year so far, except the Mil Diaz Maduro. I love the Mil Diaz Maduro.
The first release. I've heard the subsequent releases haven't been up to snuff. I don't think I've had any from like any other release other than the first release, so I shouldn't talk on it too adamantly. But from what I've heard, the follow up after the initial hasn't been that great.
Yeah, I'll wait to get John on here before I review the Coronetta, just to make sure that's a nice live stream.
Yeah,
dude, that Maduro, man.
That's
I
the one
hope.
I got.
Oh my gosh.
I have 7 of them.
Damn.
I'm sorry, John.
Patreon giveaway.
That's okay. Yeah,
Could be worse. Could be sent on a box of chef specials.
Or 3.
multiple.
Multiple boxes?
He bought
3.
He bought 3.
All 3.
Yeah.
Three?
Sign up.
Dude, Josh.
Give me him.
Ooh.
Josh, dude.
God.
Josh,
He owes you.
my buddy.
He owes
No.
you.
My buddy at the show, like he was at the show.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, the best cigar I've had so far has been that chef
Oh,
special.
that's right. He said that at the show. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So after my experience with the 56, which I loved,
Yeah.
I was like,
And
fuck,
what he
that chef special is going to be amazing. Fuck. And they're limited. They won't be around for that long.
Damn, that's getting
Fuck
an
me.
ashy. That's getting an ashy at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I haven't even smoked it yet. That's getting an ashy.
We should definitely call it that. That'll be fun.
That'd be fun.
The Ashies.
The
The
Ashies.
ashies.
The infamous
Ashies,
Ashies.
baby.
We should
Yeah.
also have a category of just bad decisions, and Matt, yours could be number 1 for the Ashy Award. Bad cigar decisions this year.
Just being a bad hobbyist, just not just like making two knee-jerk reaction actions.
Yeah.
Just doing that. What size of the Fuego are you smoking, Syndrome? Did he say?
I don't think he said.
Did you line up something else, DJ, or are you still smoking on that Cortez?
No, I let it go out. It wasn't bad. I'm just done with it. 3 cigars is good for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. My palate gets just spent. Like, I can't taste anything after 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Life ain't easy for a baller, especially when you make bad purchasing decisions.
No, that's a special Patreon giveaway. You got an entire box.
I mean, here's the thing. Thing is that a year from now or 2 years from now, when those are unable to be ordered and stuff like that, somebody will have some interest in getting those off of you. Somebody out there,
or the cigar has enough body to potentially turn into something with age. Potentially.
Now we're reaching.
Make a Patreon level that's $10 for
I'm
one
just kidding.
month to enter into the box, and then they get the box. You'd make your money back. That.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I still
Smoke
I'm holding on to
My
them.
worst cigar of the year, and then people would buy that shit.
Oh yeah.
That's
And
Yeah.
you
easy
throwing a little
marketing right
Felipe
there.
Gregorio in it, with it.
Yeah.
Just,
Get one of these,
just to not
you
feel
get an
bad.
entire box.
Here's a
Yeah.
glimpse of
This'll
light
take the
for
taste
you.
out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
take the taste out of your mouth. You just enjoy that.
I'm trying to think. I think the worst cigar I've had all year, if it was this year, it was probably that fuck. I think it was that the Monte Cristo, the Disney Diamante.
The one with the diamond on it.
Yeah, I think Michael liked it a lot. I think Mike, you like that one.
I think that we smoked two different ones though, two different sizes, right?
I had the Robusto.
You had the Robusto, I had the Figurado, or the Torpedo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I think that may have taken the cake. Well, I'm gonna check real quick. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you, Keelan.
You can recoup that loss.
No. The worst cigar I've had all year so far is probably that Camacho broadleaf.
Oh yeah.
That was awful. That was such a disgusting cigar.
Yeah, nobody should have to smoke those. Sorry to Texas tourists if he's still here.
And plus that Monte Cristo I reviewed last year. So it wouldn't be a contestant for the Ashies for 2024.
Ashy nominee, show specials, and a hat.
I'm trying to look up my worst cigar. So
You get
so
a cigar
far,
Hound Dog shirt and a box of show specials.
so far, mine was the Rare Pink. That was the worst cigar I've had this year.
Oh God.
What size? What size did you smoke?
The sophisticated hooker, but
Big ass disappointment.
yeah, it was just ammonia. It was just ammonia, like straight through.
Real. Did I give that one to you?
I think Roger gave that one to me. I think Roger gave it to me. I think Matt. I think you gave me the shorter, stubbier one. Whichever one that is.
Okay. Okay. It could have been a work of art. It was probably a work of art then. The one I gave you.
Yeah. That. And then my second worst cigar is coming out this week. So, spoiler.
Racking my brain of cigars you smoked recently. I think we've talked about it in the chat, but off the top of my head, I can't remember.
I don't think you'll know this one because I don't think I've brought this one up. I don't think I have, but maybe I did. But it was I actually filmed this one a while back. I'm just getting around to putting it out now. So
What's Jonathan, what size of the Diamante did you smoke? Let us know. If it's the Torpedo, that would make more sense. Size does matter. For cigars, size does matter for sure.
Oh yeah,
for everything. I don't know what's the worst cigar I've smoked this year. Possibly the blue. Yeah, possibly the blue.
The Sombra Mesa?
No, the McAuliffe.
The McAuliffe? McAuliffe blue?
Oh
no, it's the Dick cigar. That's the worst cigar I've smoked this year. The tip? 15 minutes, yeah, the 15 minutes of fame, all that shit, just the tip, all that awful cigar. That's the worst cigar I've smoked this year.
I have not lit that one up, DJ. I have not lit that one up.
It was funny. It came in a King of the Leaf pack, and they were like, "Yeah, it's not the same one you smoked. This one has a gold little hologram piece on it." And I went and I looked up my review, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's the same exact one I smoked. It's awful. It's a bad cigar."
It has a metallic gold cock on it, not a silver cock.
The best was when I did that short, and all these people, because they don't give a shit because it's a short, they're like, "Mushrooms aren't a vegetable." I'm like, dude, it was a dick. The whole thing was a joke. You missed the main point of the joke.
Some people, man. Okay.
What was mine? Mine was. I want to say that it was Warped. Did I smoke the Black Honey? No, that was last year.
Or was it that? Was it the El Oso, the anniversary one, the limited edition?
Yeah, the 10th was pretty bad this year. I don't know if it was the worst because, like, the Cinco de Cinco by Hoya, that wasn't
Oh, that was not
good at
good.
all. Looking back through the episodes now, trying to figure.
The Punch Dragon was pretty bad too. Yeah, we get on the list easy.
Yeah,
Oh,
salute.
Dude, I felt like last year, man. It started off with such a bang with the Amazon Basin, the extra añejo. It was just like I just felt like last year, man. Just came right in and just great cigars. And this year, it's like I just hope we start picking up some steam. So
There were a lot of them though that were kind of polarizing. That some people were saying like the Istanbul they didn't like. I enjoyed that. The Wagashi, I guess, wasn't exactly great, but some people said that when they tried it a second time, it seemed to get better.
That was good.
Yeah. It definitely has gotten better with rest for sure.
I think it was really good for me because of how bad everyone said it was. And I'm like, oh, this is fine. And then fine compared to its shit was good. I'm like, yeah, this is good.
The
Wise
Wagashi?
Man Maduro.
Yeah.
Foundation Wise Man Maduro. That was kind of like a big fall off.
Lackluster.
Yeah, that one was pretty recent.
God, the lack of posts this year is so sad.
Yeah, the one of them I didn't like. This was towards the end of last year, but I tried it at the beginning of this year. I did not like the Stillwell Star Christmas one for 2023. Did nothing for me.
I think I've only had the 22, and I thought it was okay. I know people
Yeah,
love that cigar.
John said that the Diamante and the Torpedo is what he has.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I liked the 22 a lot, but the 23, man, it was just like smoking cedar wood. It's a straight just cedar.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah,
I go
it
into
was just a
the
little
Dunbarton with my Tibet. My expectations always low. Because everything is so overhyped that I'm like, nope, I'm gonna go the opposite way, and then if I'm happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Did you like the Red Meat Lovers, the last one you had?
Yeah, it was really good. I was mad I got pulled over because it went out. I was mad I got pulled over for several reasons, but I'm like, damn, my cigar's gonna go out. But yeah, that was fun. I gotta look out for that guy every time I drive past.
Better bang for your buck than the Corojo number 5. What better bang than what other cigar? Let us know, Syndrome.
In general, I mean, how much is the number 5? It's like a $5 cigar or something like that. $6
Yeah,
cigar.
it can't be that expensive.
If you buy by the box, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the best sub $10 cigar in my opinion right now is the Juarez. That's just a fucking phenomenal cigar.
Can't forget about the RS-88s though.
Yeah, those have been. They're good. They're not as good as of late. I like them a lot, but I don't know if I've just smoked a lot of other things that are as cheap and still as good, or what. But they're solid. I mean, it's a easy go to without even thinking for a cheap price.
I feel like the Stillwells have to be the hardest ones probably for Saka to turn inventory on.
Yeah.
I know that he probably, if I remember correctly from our live with him, he was saying that, he has like Sin Compromiso fans that are diehards and Umbagog fans that are diehards, and rightfully so. But I just don't, I wouldn't imagine that a lot of people are diehards for Stillwells the same way.
Consistently.
Right? But that's what you just like to smoke all the time is Stillwells.
Yeah. No, as a
Like
nice
that-
change, they're fun, but
It's a
wouldn't
nice
like-
change.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
It's
want
a-
something kind of funky.
Yeah, it's a palate refresher kind of cigar, just to like show that there's like different things out there.
Yeah.
The
I mean, like,
holidays are like the
that.
least saturated too. Like if you're gonna go for one that's different, I wouldn't go for a holiday. They're pretty chill, especially the 23. The 23 is just a Connecticut. Smoke the acid 20 Connecticut, and you'll have a more of what you're trying to get experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good
In my opinion, the
Mhm.
red's my favorite. Different smokes for different folks. I know DJ and Michael both
Say the
love the black. Yeah, I love the red and Toro and Robusto. Robusto's great. I mean, they're all good. It's also Lancero, comes in a Lancero as well. If you like that Vitola.
Yeah, I like the red in Robusto. It's a great
Just
cigar.
don't smoke the black Churchill to start off with, because that's
That's not.
a
Yeah,
beast.
It's a great
mountain.
cigar. But I
It
would
is
not like you gotta have a lot of time.
it smokes slow. That thing, it's like Sanj always says, cigar should be hard like pipe. that's what he always say. So that thing's well packed and it's gonna smoke for a long ass time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a like I'm gonna chill for an hour. No, you're there for a while.
Yeah.
You're there for 3, at least.
Yeah.
But no, it'd be cool to try the silver and the charisma.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to the trying those.
What happened to the Zodiac Killer? That like
October.
disappeared.
October.
Okay.
October
Cool.
for
Halloween.
for Saj's birthday. Yeah.
Dope.
10/14.
Syndrome. I might be the only one to say this, but I liked the red Lancero better.
Yeah.
I still like
they're
the
both great. I love the Antra. I fucking love that cigar.
Yeah,
So
I like
unique.
Lanceros, and that one's really good.
Yeah. And plus it's like it's thin enough to where you can still call it a Lancero, but being a 43, if it were 1 ring gauge higher, it'd be a Lonsdale, or you would think of it as being more of a Lonsdale, you know?
Mhm.
Great cigar. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
think
sent us
230.
He sent us the RS88s and Lanceros too back in the day, and there were a couple of those too that were really good. You know, like the Maduro in that RS88 Lancero format. That was nice. So I mean, it would be hard to like rate all of the Lanceros.
Okay. See Texas Southpaw's comment. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't been tuning into their live stream as often, so you may have information that I don't.
Yeah.
SPs are very consistent from my experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna get the same thing pretty much every time, which is good.
Rough Rider. Indian Head Rough Rider.
Those the sweets. I reviewed that like forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool, boys. Well, anything that anybody wants to plug for next week?
It's just an us show tomorrow. I mean, next week, right?
Yeah, it's just us.
Yeah, I gotta get dates options to everybody, but I sent out a couple messages. They're all down to come on.
Nice.
And I will.
Yeah, and dude. No, I was say James, great guest. Great guess.
Yeah.
And like keeping it to an hour helps. It helps
nice
with the
and tight.
flow.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
can't wait. I want Keelan and Herklots together on a live, and it's gonna be a gay old time.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one. That one we might have to let him go for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
rumble.
Yeah. No, this is
I
good.
will. I will make my first guest appearance on Cigars Unbanded on Thursday at
Very
6
cool.
p.m.
Nice.
Pacific
Sweet.
Standard.
I might join. I might join you, Mike, if you don't mind.
No, by all means, the more the merrier.
I have your cigar. I don't know what it is, but I have it.
Okay, cool. Should be fun.
I got my next installment of Are You My Father coming up this week. So
I love it.
yep.
Is
Which
that the review
is
you
that-
hinted at earlier?
yeah.
That's the one,
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I was gonna ask which one, but since we kind of know your thoughts, we'll leave it at that.
While it's
Until it
still
comes
100
out.
plus, you gotta smoke the Jaime Garcia while it's 100 plus degrees outside, and just
Oh,
slowly descend into madness.
that sounds
Don't
awful.
don't put that evil on him, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that evil on him.
I have one that's aged or rested, like about 2 years, 2.5 years. So maybe that would help. That
Maybe.
just sounds like a
Maybe.
maybe. That sounds terrible, dude. I will not be doing that.
Man,
Maybe
last
I
time
will.
I smoked
Maybe
that,
I
I
will.
was
Maybe I will.
I was looking for my dog that got out, and I'm like walking around buzzed as hell with pointing flashlights at people's houses looking for my dog at like midnight. Man, that thing it's a good cigar. It's yeah.
Let's see.
Hell yeah. Our next live right now is scheduled for next Saturday, but just so everybody knows, we're thinking about potentially moving the date to Fridays. We used to do them more consistently on Fridays. We're thinking about going back to that.
Yep.
But for now, next week, Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah.
I might check out and try a shorter show as well.
Yeah.
And Southpaw, yes, I will have that coming out probably towards the tail end of next week or the following week, early that week. So yes, that is coming for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, dude. Great live, guys.
Yep.
Next
That
week,
was
are we
fun.
drinking? Are we drinking next week?
Ah!
Are we
I
gonna
mean,
conclude the
drinking
month
sounds
with a drink
fun.
stream?
Yeah,
Sure. I'll try to-
I still got like 3/4 of that Macallan bottle left.
You
So
take one more sip of that and start.
wait up. Before we go, let's see where it's at.
Okay, let's see how much you've taken that bad boy down
Michael,
two
I need you
sips.
to
over the course
Yeah.
of 9 months.
Michael, I need you to pregame, man. I love it when you get the buzz going, man. It's coming in
Yeah,
hot.
man. I'll come in sauced up. I'm good with that.
That was the goal for this stream. It did not happen.
Yeah, no.
In the box though.
In the box still.
In the box.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
you got plenty of sips left. Good 4 little sips there.
You can keep that for another 3-4 years.
At this pace, probably. Fuck yeah.
Well, appreciate everyone joining us. It was a fun night.
For sure.
Great night.
Yeah.
Great chill sesh, great guest, great conversation. It was fun. It was fun, guys.
Good stuff, fellas. Alrighty, well, see y'all next week.
All right. See everyone
See
next
ya.
week.
The,
See
hit
you
the
guys.
outro.
Peace.